This is a true crime discussions channel. We speculate. This is all just speculation. Because it's true crime, it's for mature audiences only. There will be no children allowed, no exceptions. Everything on this channel falls under fair use. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share. It's free.
I was talking and it was muted. Hey y'all, it's good to see you. I'm glad to see you here, Lil Red. Thank you so much for that information. Like, I really could not get it anywhere else. I still haven't got my request back, so I really appreciate you doing that. I wanted to let me shout y'all out real quick. Good morning, Abellis, Matilda, Jennifer, Alix, Chelsea, Jenny Jen. Jenny Jen, thank you for your comment last night. I had to remove it, but I did take note of that, and I will fix that. I've been so busy working this morning trying to get this discovery document out. I just finished reading all 57 pages. I've got to put the 2 videos together, and then I'll have the discovery document out for you guys. Bad Girl, Abellis, Mimas, Andy, Ashley, Lisa, Lynn, Annette, Ashley, Rachel, Orange Rose, Little Red, Anna. It's good to see y'all. Cajun Juju, good to see you. Smoky Mountain Mermaid, Bad Girl again. I think I said your name. Lori, Cara, Crackerjacks, Kiosandra, good to see you guys. Thank you so much for being here. So referencing the discovery document, I do want to talk to y'all about a couple of things that I found there in the discovery document. And it's just a couple of like short little sentences that I highlighted. So I'm just going to read those to you and we're going to discuss it. A couple of things that I found interesting. I did find something different in it, but I don't know. You'll have to watch the video for the one thing I found different because it's kind of graphic. It's to deal with the photos and things that they pulled from his phone. The mark that I always presumed was on her face, the identifying mark that they referenced Madeline having in the pictures as to how they identified that it was her. It's not on her face. So you'll have to look at the discovery documents. I always thought it was on her face, but it's not. Hey, Miss Sarah and Cozy. Good to see y'all. Oh, Little Red, you're so sweet. If I have anything that you need, just let me know and I'll get it to you as well. I do appreciate when we can, collaborate together and share things. I love that kind of stuff. Sorry. Getting my thoughts together. Okay, so there's a couple of things that I'm going to read to you guys and talk about. The first part I have highlighted is, okay, this is talking about Jennifer Soto is recapping the day, okay? And she's telling Detective Tangler about the day, and she's telling them about what Stefan did, and she says, then asked if I wanted the name of the vape shop because she believed it might be helpful if I wanted to look at surveillance. And that's weird to me. I mean, again, you might not find it weird. It could just be me, but it's like, that tells me more that this is a scripted thing because it's like, oh, make sure you go to the vape shop so you're on surveillance and they can see you. So there's like camera footage of you throughout the day, right? And for her to say, then asked if I wanted the name of the vape shop because she believed it might be helpful if I wanted surveillance. Like, that's just a weird statement for Jennifer to make in reference to Stefan to the police. Like, it seems very scripted. It seems like a weird thing for her to say. Oh, you can get surveillance from the vape shop, so make sure you go by there and get the surveillance of him so you can pinpoint where he was at that moment in time. The next thing I have highlighted, we're going to pull up this video because I want to review something. So I know you can't see it. Hold on. I'm going to provide a trigger warning because I'm going to need y'all to help me think about something that's going to be a little triggering, okay? So this document says Stefan also had minor scratches on the top part of his left hand, okay? So in this DNA paperwork, it tells us where
10 epithelial cell fraction and 13 epithelial.
Hold on. It tells us that Maddie had DNA under her fingernails on one hand. Okay. So what we need to do is think about if Madeline's laying down and being choked or something, and she's scratching, where his left hand would be, is it the same hand that she, like, would she be scratching his left hand with the hand that has DNA fibers or DNA cells from somebody else under it? So we're going to listen to this video and see exactly what hand of hers had the DNA under it. Real quick, Lori Green said, yeah, I remember Jen said something about CCTV outside the vape shop. She told the police. Yep. Hey, Andrea. Just trying to grab Jenny's comment real quick. Thank you for helping with that Nightbot, Keo. Jenny Jen said you would think she would ask if any surveillance saw her daughter, not her ex-boyfriend. Right. Like, I had an issue with that. I was like, that's just weird to me. Okay. So I'm just going to play this. I don't remember exactly where it's at. It's going to kind of explain, in case you don't know, what this document is. And it's going to talk about DNA on Maddie. If you hear stuff in the background, it's nighttime and I can't. It's loud here at night in the speculating family's household. So it tells us the victim is Madeline, what I assume to be Madeline Soto, and you'll understand why in just a second. The subject is Stephen Stearns. The offense is a death investigation in Osceola County, February 25th. 2024 is when they're saying the death occurred, which is important. That means it would be the night before. This is a laboratory report that was done April 10th of 2024. And we're going to go down. Okay. It says this report references evidence submitted to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement on March 13th, 2024 by Jamie Jones. Kara's shaking out the bushes already. Thank you so much for gifting 10 memberships. That was so very sweet and supportive of you. Those went to Lulu, ACF, Pam J, Navy Swimmer, K8 Face 90, Samantha, Just Judy, Rachel, Renee, the Vala Fitzpatrick. I think that's it. If you guys were gifted a membership from Kara, please tell her thank you if you are aware, and I will grab the crazy train on the way to Speculation Station. Thank you so much, Kara. Okay, it barely played. Hopefully it played for y'all because it was gone in just a second. Also, real quick update. I called the school yesterday. I tried to screen record it. There was no sound on the video. So I recorded it through StreamYard this morning, but the lady has to call me back. So hopefully I'll be able, if I'm not live, I'll be able to record her telling me what to do as far as donating the money to Hunter's Creek. If not, I'll still like screen record when I actually donate it and show you guys that. Veronica said, I also believe that Jen kept insisting about the stupid vape shop camera. Yeah, Jen, he appears in, then so for sure he didn't do anything to Maddie. This was her idea of him going there for evidence. I believe so. Hey, Granny to 13. You're not late. You got here right when you were supposed to be here. I think so. I think it's definitely concerning and really weird. It didn't play it. I don't know why. I'll try again real quick. Okay, it should have played that time. Sometimes it'll play for y'all, but it won't play for me. So that was the crazy train picking y'all up on the way to Speculation Station. Thank you again, Cara. That was so sweet. Kim Trelia, good to see you. Okay. Junk. The report contains conclusions, opinions, and or interpretations made by the author. It tells us the evidence, the FDL, and the agency. So it says item number, exhibit number. Okay, the exhibit's going to be for court, the longer set of numbers there. And then what we need to pay attention to is like item 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.1, 8.29. Okay. So the description for item number 3 is buccal swabs represented as being from Stephen Stearns. 4 is a member swab represented as being from Stephen Stearns. 5 is a DNA card represented as being from Maddie. 6 is left fingernail clippings represented as being from Maddie. 7 is right fingernail clippings represented as being from Maddie. 8 is neck swabs represented as being from Maddie. 8.1 left neck swabs. 8.2 right neck swabs. 9 is a right. So sitting here thinking, I'm thinking, and I mean, let me put my banner up. I don't mean to trigger y'all, But I'm thinking that if he's on top of her, choking her, in order to scratch his left hand, she would have scratched his hand with her right hand. So what we're listening for is if there one of her fingernails, there was DNA from somebody else under them. So I'm thinking it would be her right hand in order to scratch his left hand if he's on top of her, is what I'm thinking. The right hand swab represented as being from Maddie. 10 is a left hand swab represented as being from Maddie. 11 is the backdoor hole swab represented as being from Maddie. The number 12 is the front door swab represented as being from Maddie. 12.1 is hair. 13 is chest, or I'll say boob swabs represented as being from Maddie. 14 is oral swabs represented as being from Maddie. Okay, this is page 104. Now we're going to scroll down. It tells us the file number, the submission. Abellis, thank you so much for gifting 10 memberships. Y'all shaking out the bushes. Those went to Nerdy Cat, JK, Christian Ball, Jets Mama, Turtle Talk, Frosty After Dark, Tress Kelly Son, Ellie R, Rude Mood Ragdoll, I like that name, and Lynn Lavilia. Thank you so much for that. That was so very sweet of you. I really appreciate the support. Y'all shaking out the bushes. I'll play the other clip for you, Abellis. Thank you so much, and welcome to Speculation Station. Thank you so much, Abellis. That was so sweet. Hello, Edith. It's good to see you, love. Y'all are so sweet. Anna, thank you for saying that. Welcome to the new members. That was sweet. It says item number 3. Buccal swabs represented as being from Stephen Stearns. Item number 5, DNA card represented as being from Maddie. Complete DNA profiles were obtained from item 3 and 5, excuse me. So that means they got DNA profile of Stephen from his buccal swabs, and they got a DNA profile of Maddie from her DNA card represented as being from her. Item number 4 is a member swab represented as being from Stephen Stearns. They say Stephen Stearns, item number 3, is expected to be a donor to item number 4. No DNA results foreign to Stephen Stearns were obtained from item number 4. So they're saying item number 3, which was the buccal swab, is expected to be a donor of the DNA that they got from the member swabs. And that from those 2 swabs, they didn't get any DNA that was foreign to Stephen, which they wouldn't. They're his buccal swabs and his member swab, okay? Item number 6 is left fingernail clippings represented as being from Madeline. They said using a color change test, item 6 failed to give chemical indications for the presence of blood. So that means under Smoky Mountain Mermaid, thank you so much for gifting 5 Speculation Station memberships. That was so sweet. Those went to Tillery Banks, Ruby P, Kristen Singleton, Colors Flight, and Donna Handley. Thank you so much. I'll come pick y'all up on the crazy train on the way to Speculation Station. If you were gifted from Smoky Mountain Mermaid, Abellis, or Cara, and you are aware, please make sure to tell them all thank you. Thank you. You guys are so sweet, shaking out them bushes. Thank you, and welcome all the new members to Speculation Station. That's where I get a little bit more personal. Say thank you to Smokey if you got a membership, please. All right, I'm going to back that up just a smidge so we can hear, because that's the important part we want to hear. They wouldn't. They're his buccal swabs and his member swab, okay? Hey, Tony. Item number 6 is left fingernail clippings represented as being from Madeline. They said using a color change test, item 6
failed to give chemical indications for the presence of blood. So that means under Maddie's left fingernail, the clippings that they got from them, there was no blood. Okay. This is marked out. I don't know what it is. And it says item number 5. What I would assume Maddie, but I'm not sure. It says item number 5 is expected to be a donor to item number 6. No DNA results foreign from Maddie were obtained from item number 6. So they're saying Maddie's DNA card is expected to be a donor to the DNA of her left fingernail clippings, and no DNA that was foreign from Maddie was found in those two places.
Okay, so under her left hand, there is no DNA foreign from Maddie under those fingernail clippings. Smoky Mountain Mermaid has been a member for a month. Thank you so much. She said, I had 2 months of gifted, so I'm paying it forward. That was so sweet. Well, thank you for that. That was so sweet of you. That was so sweet. Thank you so much, Smoky. And Cara and Abellis and everybody. I see everybody's being so sweet to Smoky. Cracker Jacks, Darlene, Veronica, good to see you. Okay, now we're going to hear about the right hand.
Item number 7 is right fingernail clippings represented as being from Maddie. Using a color change test, item number 7 gave chemical indications for the presence of blood. That means there was blood under her right fingernail clippings. Is blacked out. Item number 5 is expected to be a donor to item number 7. No DNA results foreign to Maddie were obtained from item number 7. Okay, so item number 5 was the DNA card represented as being from Maddie, and they're saying that no DNA results foreign from Maddie were obtained from item number 7, so we're going to assume it was her blood. Item 8.1 is...
Okay, so I got excited when I heard that there was blood under her right fingernails, because I was thinking, okay, well, if he's on top of her choking her, again, trigger warning, I do apologize, then if she's going to be scratching at him, in order for her to scratch his left hand, there would have to be DNA under her right fingernails of his hand where she scratched him, and that would align with the minor scratches to the top part of Stefan's left hand. But it said that it was just Maddie's blood under her fingernails. So that's not telling me. I thought I figured it out, that we could pinpoint that Stefan committed the homicide, but since it's just her blood under there, we can't pinpoint it. Smoky Mountain, I hope I didn't upset you in any way. I saw that you're not talking, so I hope I haven't done anything to upset you. If I have, I do apologize. There is so much love in chat. Y'all are being so sweet. Bellis dropped a trigger warning. Veronica said, I still can't believe Jen said that SA was okay, but didn't do anything evil. I'm pretty sure SA is super evil, probably even worse than unaliving. Okay. I agree, Veronica. I saw that Smokey's still here. Okay. So the next thing that I marked was, okay, they're talking about photos that they found and videos they found of Stefan abusing Maddie, okay? And they're talking about comparing the mark that's on his member, because evidently there's a black freckle on his member, and the pink skin under the head of the member looks different, and it can be identified as it being his, right? So they're talking about the videos and pictures, and it says, presumably Stearns is wearing a red and white Deadpool shirt, which is seen in multiple photographs where Stefan was being sexually abused. So I'm wondering, because he changed that shirt, I'm wondering if they have pictures from the actual night. I'm wondering if he abused her that night after her birthday party, and they have the pictures of him in the Deadpool shirt from then, or if it was a previous time. I don't know that we'll know that until court, but I definitely think that that kind of tells me more than likely he definitely abused her on the night that she died. And if that's true, then it makes me question, like, did she say no and he did it anyway? Or did she not try to fight him and it was some kind of accident that went wrong? Did Jennifer come up? You know, it left me with a couple of questions. And lastly, before we start diving into the audios that I have, so we can go through them together. Hey, Anders. Smoky Mountain said, please hit the thumbs up. Please do that. Veronica's going to send a flying ninja to Jen. So lastly, I have a section marked, and it reads, next, Detective Khalees showed Jennifer a close-up photograph of a white male member. Jennifer viewed the picture but was unable to identify the member. Okay, wait a minute. Hold on. I need to go back a little bit. Okay, during the interview, Jen confirmed that Madeline lives with her and her boyfriend of approximately 7 years, Stephen Stearns. As the interview concluded, Jennifer stated on, quote, rare, unquote, occasions, Madeline and Stephen would sleep in the same bed. According to Jen, the reason for this is so she can get some sleep because sometimes all three of them sleep in the same bed. Jennifer also confirmed with Detective Khalees that she and Stephen had been sexually intimate. Detective Khalees presented Jennifer with various images that were recovered from Stephen's cell phone. The first image was a hand placed on the buttocks of a white female. After reviewing this image, Jen identified the hand as belonging to Stephen, so she knows his hand. Next, Detective Khalees showed Jen a close-up photograph of a white male member. Jen viewed the member but was unable to identify the member. Okay, so that's weird to me. If you're intimate and he has this particular mark where it's like pink until a quarter of the way down the shaft, that's unusual for other men, and he has a black freckle and you have been intimate with him, why are you not able to identify it? But, to be fair, the next sentence reads, again, Jennifer viewed this image. Oh, Khalees then presented Jen with another image of a member pulled over a pair of pants. Again, Jen viewed this image and identified the member as belonging to Stephen. Jen believed this was Stephen's member based on the clothing and blankets around the member. So she identified his member based on clothing and blankets around the member, not the member itself. And if this member is so distinctive and has these marks on them and is easily identifiable and you've been intimate with him, why are you not able to identify his member? Not trying to be graphic, but I could identify, someone that I had been with. I would be able to identify it in a picture, I would think. So that was my thought process on that as I was reading through the document, the discovery. Now, I'm going to pull up these audios. I wanted to put, I guess I'm going to play the video of Stephen being interviewed. Maybe Liddy, that's a possible explanation. Hold on just a second. Okay, so I'm going to play the video I have of Stephen being interviewed in the police station. So we have something to look at while we listen to some of these calls, and you guys can help me identify if you hear anything different. Gavin Fish assessed the member. Oh my goodness. I saw it pop up on my screen and I was like, oh, I'm not even going to look at that. So I looked away. I'm looking for the where they're interviewing Stephen. So we can look at Stephen while we listen to the interviews of him. And then when we listen to Jen, we'll watch. Actually, I think what we're going to listen to today is going to be the 2-hour interview of the CSAM, because I really think there's something different in that, but I haven't had time to listen to it. So we'll go ahead and do that one. And we need where she's being interviewed on the couch. Where is it? Hold on. My computer takes a minute. Allie said, at first I thought it was because she hadn't seen it much, but then when I heard it had a large mark on it, you would know. Right. That's where I was like, if it's so identifiable, how are you not able to identify it? Lord, I put out a lot of videos. That's the one we want. All right, I'm going to mute this so we can listen to it while I pull up that audio.
You're driving here? I was driven here, but my dad followed behind. I think you guys said my car.
Let me see if I can get it from here. All right, I got to grab it on my phone real quick so we can listen to it. I would love to do it on the internet, like play it from my laptop, but I don't know that, like, my computer will probably freeze up and glitch. Okay. Sorry, y'all. I was working on reading that document. Yeah, this is it. So I didn't have all of this stuff together. I do apologize. Bad Girl said police are having a new press conference for Gene Hackman. I've heard that. We need to talk about it because I've heard about a couple of things. Hey, Moore. Moore said the first time I heard of a criminal case that has a thingy as evidence. Yeah. Lori said Jen said vanilla or oral, so she would know, I'm sure, with her owl eyes. Good point. Tony said unless she was on too much of her medication, but you think you'd still know. Right. Hey, Scratch the Paint. Good to see y'all. Hey, Heather. Good to see y'all. All right, I'm going to make this big, and I'm just going to start it over from the beginning, and so we have something to watch while we listen to the interview. And I'll play the interview from my phone. Going to mute it. All right. Turn my phone up. All right, here we go.
Reference Orange County case 24-013. Today is.
Let me know if y'all can hear it. You should be able to because I've got it right by my microphone.
February 28, 2024, times approximately 15:49 hours. Detective Acosta, located at Central Operations, conducting an interview with. And President is Detective Achilles.
Okay, perfect. So let me know if y'all hear anything different. And I'll be watching the comments while we're all listening together.
Most likely. Okay, that hasn't started yet? I have to check. I do not know. I've been up here. Doing okay? Doing all right? No, I know it's not.
Anders, you make me laugh. Okay, good. Thank you. They're just walking to the room right now, I suppose. He's playing. Yeah.
We're going to be on the more
Probably how bad she's screwed, indie girl.
Let me take a seat wherever, man. So like I told you, my name is Detective Police, the Sheriff's Office. This is
Detective Acosta.
your name, correct? Your mom? Okay. And then dad lives in Texas, I'm assuming? Is that what I understand?
Yes, but he's actually on his way to Florida.
Okay.
Hey, all I need is
How long have you
Jesus.
and Steven been together?
Stefan and I have been
I'm sorry,
together.
Stefan.
It's okay. On and off for about 7 years.
7 years?
Yeah.
Okay, and you guys still currently live together?
No. He recently moved back down in December to Northport, Florida.
Okay.
His dad had offered him a job, but it fell through.
Okay.
So he's kind of stuck down there until we can financially afford to bring him back home.
Gotcha.
We are waiting for. He used to work at Disney.
Okay.
I paused it real quick. Jenny Jen told us that this interview takes place on February 28, 2024, where Jen is shown the CSAM, and that's right. All I Need Is Jesus came in and said, Chris McDonough says that just by her sitting in the middle seat on the couch, she's only going to be 50% honest. That's interesting. I've never heard anything like that. Lil Red said, I'm lurking as I get things done before 3:30. Thank you for covering this case. Thank you for everything that you've done. I really appreciate it. Hey, Nessie UK. All right. Yeah, I'm going to say she's already doing that.
What did you do at Disney?
He worked in attractions at Epcot.
Okay.
We have to wait.
What was the job that his dad was trying to get him? Do you know?
It was like construction manager or like an assistant construction manager or project manager, something like that, like an apprenticeship kind of thing.
Okay.
That fell through. So we were waiting we have to wait a specific amount of time for you to reapply to Disney again.
Okay.
From when you resigned.
Right.
Veronica said, I thought the CSAM was shown a day previous to this interview. Not sure. You could be right. I could be misremembering. I think it was this interview, but I could be wrong too.
So we're waiting for that time for him to reapply again so that he can come back up here.
Okay. So how often does he stay at the apartment with you guys?
So he was living with us up until December.
Okay.
And then he's visited us since December twice or three times since then.
And how long does he usually stay for?
Anywhere from a few days to a week.
Okay. And then he goes back down there?
Yeah. Okay.
And then I'm assuming he stays with his dad when he goes down there?
Yeah.
Okay. How long has he been in town recently?
Lil Red said, if I remember correctly, the pig's father said he moved because they could not pay the rent anymore. So she just lied. Yes, she did. Yep. Because his dad wanted him to move because, he was tired of paying rent. He said that working at Disney, it was going to take too long for him to have a job to support himself, like get paid enough to support himself anyway. So he told him to stop working at Disney. And then she claims it's because they broke up and he moved out in November, I do believe, even though it was supposed to be October. Absolutely right. I'm glad you pointed that out too. Some of you said I hate sitting in the middle of the couch. I do too. I have to sit on the side. I got to have room. I want to sit Indian style on the couch with my arm on the armrest thing. I would be scratching the wall down to get it stepping too. You'd have to tase me. You'd have to bring out them rubber bullets or something.
He got into town Sunday evening.
This past Sunday?
Yeah.
Okay. And he was staying with you? Yeah. Okay. All right. And then how is his relationship?
I would say super great. He treats her as his own child. He always has.
Okay.
They're very similar. They're both very childish. Like he loves board games, video games, arts and crafts, all that stuff.
Okay.
I'm kind of a watcher.
What do you mean?
Like I won't play the games. I'll watch them play the games.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
That way.
Yeah.
But he's more involved with that.
Okay.
Yeah, they're pretty great.
Okay. Do they ever go off on their own? Like you kind of do your thing and the two of them do stuff together?
Hardly ever.
Hardly ever?
It's for the most part, it's the three of us doing something.
Gotcha. And then when he stays, does he sleep with you, sleep on a couch, separate bedroom? What's like the sleeping arrangements like?
It depends. For the most part, he would sleep upstairs in the guest room and me would sleep in my bedroom downstairs.
Okay.
Sometimes he would come sleep in the bed, all three of us together.
Okay.
And rarely ever would I send them upstairs to go sleep alone away from me because I need a good night's sleep. Because if we sleep all the three of us together.
Oh, I can only imagine.
It's a king bed, but like my kid karates, like she just.
Well, she's not a small baby anymore.
No, she's.
So yeah, that's always been weird to me, Smoky Mountain. She's a watcher. Like that's always been weird to me. I would never claim myself to be a watcher. I would say they were more into board games. I wasn't really into it, but I just kind of hung out. Arts and crafts are not childish. I'm always doing some arts and crafts. Cara said, bullshit. Okay. Yeah, she's a watcher. It's always been weird terminology. Hello, Bazard. Bazard said, I'm going to die on this hill, but what kind of woman or man would be in a sexless relationship and allow their significant other to sleep with their kids in a bed? I don't know. It's a good question. I wish Kevin would have interviewed Stephen too.
She's not. So it's just 3 humans on a bed is really uncomfortable, really tight.
About how often was they would go, you would send them off on their own?
I would say
That's a long pause.
I would say honestly, somewhere between, I'm gonna say less than 5 times has this ever happened, right?
That's
It
fine.
hasn't been that
And this
many
is over the
times.
course of him visiting back and forth, correct?
You mean the sleeping arrangements
Yeah.
alone?
Yeah.
No, that was including him living with us.
Oh, okay.
Hardly ever would I send them upstairs because I had that rule that she couldn't sleep alone with him. That's just me. I'm just
Right.
very,
And then you said you and Stefan have been together for about 5 to 7 years?
7 years, yeah.
7 years, okay. So you're pretty familiar with him?
Yeah.
Okay. Whose hand does that look like to you?
I would say it's Stefan's.
Is that Stefan's hand?
Yeah, I would think so.
Okay. So you and Stefan, have you guys been sexually intimate before in the past?
Yes.
So you're aware of what like his penis looks like and things like that, correct?
Yes.
Does this look like Stefan's penis to you?
No.
No. Okay. What about that?
Possibly, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're thinking that's his penis?
Might be.
Okay.
If anything, it's not even the penis I'm recognizing, it's the things around it.
So it's the things around it that make you believe it's his penis?
Yeah.
Okay. So we have these images, and unfortunately, over the last maybe 2 or 3 years, he's been doing stuff with oral sex, vaginal sex, and things like that.
There is a trigger worded up. I do apologize. It kind of came quicker than I remembered. Y'all been saying a lot of stuff and I've been highlighting them. Most significantly was that, less than 5 times, yet there's 1,700 images. Like, give me a break here. Lil Red said at this time he was in custody, law enforcement would not tell a parent their child was being abused by their significant other. They will not risk the person taking the law into their own hands. Yep. I know he was in custody. I think this was, so if I remember correctly, like the way I figured it out by listening to this case, I think this interview takes place while he's sitting in the room waiting to be interviewed, because he sits there for like 3 hours and falls asleep, and then they come in and interview him. And then this interview that's on the screen would be the next day or after they talk to Stefan, at least. I think that's the way it goes. Mercedes, I don't know if I said hey to you, but I wanted to say hey to you, sweetheart.
What makes you guys?
We have photos.
Okay.
We have his phone. We were able to get into his phone. And there's some very, very unfortunate graphic pictures of him conducting various sexual acts with. I wish I could tell you this was all a made-up story, but it's not. Did you ever suspect anything like this? No? You okay?
Hey, JPL.
Okay. Can I get you anything?
Wait a minute. Oh, I can't remember.
Some water? Just have this one if you want to take it. Yeah. How are you feeling right now?
I can't breathe.
Is this a surprise?
Is there photos of her?
Yes. So you know how we have his phone? Obviously, that's how we were able to find the photos in there.
I don't want to believe that this is true. Can I see some of that evidence?
What makes you believe that it's not?
I thought I knew him well enough.
You said you thought you knew him well enough?
So, our goal, we want to find her. Can you think of anything of where Stefan would take her? Did they have any special hangout spots? Did they have any places that they would do together while you were at work or you had other things going on in your life?
The only place they would go is hang out at home. There's no place I can think of that they've gone outside. I mean, they've gone shopping to like Target before.
Okay. But anywhere else that you can think of?
Hey, Karen.
What are you thinking about right now?
How this can be true? How I missed the signs?
What signs are you saying you missed?
No, like I'm just saying, if there were any signs, I didn't see any.
Right. Like these are, I'm not telling you, like, these aren't just Google images that we found. Like, these are actual images. And I don't want you to see images of your daughter like that. I don't.
Bad girl said, if this is too hard on you, please feel free to leave. Yes. And you can come back another time. The images are like the phone gives them numbers that identify them. I don't know that if they were time stamped, but they could tell what dates they were taken on and what year. So I would think that they were. I was going to read 2 comments real quick. If my computer will load them. Rachel said, I just don't understand asking for more evidence. That picture wasn't enough. I would have went into a complete rage. She doesn't even seem mad. Yeah. And I mean, I understand like panic and shock, but it's more than that. It's like Cozy was saying, it's like she wants to know how much evidence they do have and if she's in trouble for something. I keep trying to grab it, but it goes away. And now my computer's not loading comments. There it is. Orange Rose said she's scared for Stefan and herself, thinking, oh crap, the phone reset didn't work. She's not upset about it because she knew. Right. That's where I agree. I agree. She just told on herself when referencing missing the missed signs. Did she? Let me see if I can rewind it a little bit. Oh, dang, I can't really rewind it. I'll definitely play it back and listen again. Because if anything's different, I'm going to put it on a video. But she did. I'm sure she did. She's told on herself a lot. Cara said, if Ellie showed me pictures of my child, I couldn't read the rest of it, but like I'm sure I wouldn't ask for more. I'd ask if they have him in custody because it's going to be a manhunt for his body. Right. Bazzer says, see her reaction to see Maddie being abused. The theory is that Jen, aka the potato, has seen the images and videos before. Yeah, I agree. She hasn't asked to see Stefan to ask him where his Maddie is. No, Nessie UK, she still believes even after this that he has nothing to do with the homicide, that the sex stuff isn't evil, but the homicide is, and he wouldn't do that to her, which tells me you thought they were in some kind of relationship and that he loved her too much to hurt her physically, and as in homicide, even though he was hurting her physically. That's my theory.
But this investigation has taken us down this road. So wherever you think can be right now, we want to know so we can go get her safely.
Of course. I just have no idea.
Did Stefan ever take her back down to Newport Richie?
Newport, Florida.
Newport, Florida, I'm sorry.
Alone, no.
Alone? You guys would go together?
Yeah. Or I would drive down with, and we would just hang out.
Okay. So when Stefan would not stay at the house with you guys, where else would he stay?
Hey, Chaz.
In his apartment in his house in Northport, Florida. That's it.
But when he would visit here, he would always stay in your house? He would never go get a hotel or stay at a friend's house or anything like that?
No, yeah.
Okay. Why did he go to Newport, Florida this morning?
This morning?
Yeah.
I heard.
Oh, okay. I'm just curious. I heard a rumor that he possibly went down there.
No.
I don't know. Them is maybe lost in translation.
No, he didn't. We were in the hotel. If anything, he stepped out to go get some Wawa
Okay.
and then came back.
About how long was he gone for? Does he have a new phone since we have his, or?
I think his dad may have handed him a new phone.
Okay. Do you know the phone number to that new phone?
No.
Okay. What's his dad do?
Works in real estate. I think he's a broker.
So look, we just need any information.
Hey, Irene.
Any.
No, I know, but there's nothing I can give you. There's nothing I can.
Did you communicate with Stefan on the new phone with your phone? No.
I just wanna. I believe you. I want to believe you, but I won't believe you until I see actual images of my child.
Are you sure you want to see that?
Liddy, did you notice anything new yet? Let me know if y'all hear anything. Anders, no, we're listening to audio of Jen being confronted with the CSAM stuff. It was in the document drop that Lil Red sent over to me so kindly. We're listening to audios because the one interview with Stefan was different, and we're trying to see if any of the other audios have different stuff in them. I played the jail call yesterday and thought there was different evidence in there that had been unredacted, but there wasn't. So we're kind of listening together to see if we hear anything different from the original CSAM audio and this one, to see if something's redacted or we get new information we didn't have before. Oh, hold on.
I'll go get it. Are you sure you want to see that? And as a parent, take my word of advice. I wouldn't, blow smoke up your butt and tell you, that's a fake picture. I wouldn't do that to you. I wouldn't. I'm gonna be dead honest with you.
So I'm gonna write that down. It could possibly be. I won't believe anything until I see images. Hold on, y'all. I gotta write that down. Okay. And we are at 1404, so it's before 1404. Okay. I will definitely check that. Thank you. Hey, Nona needs a nap. I like that. Good to see you.
I'll be more than happy to show you those images. But I know as a parent, I don't know if I would want to see those. But if you want to see them, that's your own prerogative.
Can you tell me what's being done in the photos?
Oh. Sorry, y'all.
She has a penis in her mouth. And that picture that you said that the stuff identified,
I think that might be
Stefan's penis around her, I zoomed in on that photo because in that picture has a penis in her mouth.
I think that's new. I don't think they ever said penis before.
Do you need any more water? Are you okay?
I literally thought I was coming here for the press conference, but this is not what we're here for.
I know, and it's unfortunate that, these are the details that we found, but I think it's very important now that we kind of sit back, evaluate everything, and kind of think every step of the way where Stefan has been with him in the past, where he can be right now, because at the end of the day, we want to go get her.
So I do believe that's new, because I figured out that it was a picture of Madeline with a member in her mouth, because I read the documents, and I remember reading that on a document. I don't remember hearing it in the audio. So I do believe that that's new. And then I wrote down, I won't believe anything until I see images of my child. That might be new.
Yeah, of course. It's just if I knew anything, I would tell you. I just have no fucking idea where you could be.
So I know
she
that.
Could be,
Say again, I'm sorry.
or any idea where she could be.
Possibly.
It's a they, but
Yeah.
he's here. Dude, was there any the video footage that was caught at the church? What exactly was seen? I've heard from other people, but I just.
Do you know much?
It looked like someone around stage.
So yeah, I know the internet. I know that this interview is not new. This interview's out on the CSAM on my page, but there's parts that are unredacted now. There's parts that are unredacted now that were redacted previously.
That walked by, but it's inconclusive whether it was right. It was too grainy. It was the video was not. You couldn't determine what was in the video, pretty much. So we don't know that she walked by that church.
I think somebody asked for the panel link. I'll drop it. Hold on. Cara, thank you so much for gifting 10 memberships. I won't be able to see who they went to because I've got this audio up on my phone right now. Okay, there's the link. Thank you so much for gifting 10 memberships. If you were gifted from Cara and you are aware, please tell her thank you. And I will jump on the crazy train to come pick y'all up on the way to Speculation Station. Baby. Oh, Lordy. I don't know if it played fully because it acted weird. I'm going to have to see if my kids are on the internet because it's acting weird. Thank you so much for that card. That was so very sweet of you. I really appreciate that. I dropped the link. Hopefully, you got it. Whoever was looking for it. JPL said, crazy. Why in the heck would Stephen Stern's father get him a phone? Isn't that a little weird since he know the police took his phone? He might have done it just to keep in touch with him. Hey, Rose Thorne. Oh, my phone locked. Hold on. Okay.
So the last person that saw was Stefan.
Yeah. So we want to know, he's the last person to see her. He claims that he dropped her off at this church before school. Unfortunately,
Close to the church.
Close to the church.
She corrected the church. Hey, Ballard.
Hey, Ledge. Hey, everyone. Hope everyone's doing good today.
Yeah, how are you?
I'm good. I just woke up from a nap and then saw you were streaming, and now I'm going to make lunch right quick. But I just wanted to point out with this, I guess, you were saying some new stuff is popping up, and I was just noticing she changed the subject when the asking her, because I know the detective was like, do you really want to see a picture of your daughter being abused? And then she changed the subject kind of real quickly, talking about, oh, but there was someone.
Oh, we lost him. Okay, I'll put him back up if he comes back. But I didn't notice that the subject was changed. I'll have to go back and look at that.
Unfortunately, we know she doesn't go to school that day. You try and go pick her up. What did after Stefan dropped her off? Did he come back home? About how long was he gone for during drop off?
Okay, I got you back. You dropped off right when you said she was saying you changed the subject. She changed the subject and she said, what now?
Yeah, that was just my wife acting up.
Oh.
No, yeah, she was saying she changed the subject. I really didn't pay attention, way back watching that video, but now I just realized that when the detectives were, well, that main detective was like questioning her, do you really want to see these images? And when he did that kind of questioning, and I think you can tell maybe she was kind of sensing that he was like trying to get her at, like, why would you want to see images of your child being abused? Then she changed the subject right quick about the images of her supposedly at the church. And I didn't really pay attention to that, but now I'm like, oh, maybe that's something that she did on a quick spot. Because we all kind of know that she's somewhat intelligent to a degree, but it's
Right.
like she somehow was able to quickly kind of divert. But then, of course, eventually she does again asks for the images. But I thought that was just weird and interesting that she did that. She quickly tried to change the subject in her dumb little way.
Mm-hmm.
But then it was like, I still want to see the images. But I thought this is why I kind of wish this detective kind of went hard on her a little bit more
Yeah.
about why would you want to see images of your child being abused?
Yeah. Because it's not normal. I mean, if somebody told me that was going on, I'm not going to be asking to see images. I'm going to be asking where that mother trucker is at.
Exactly. Which why, I put in the chat earlier that, I mean, that's kind of a theory that some kind of somewhat been on it too, where it's like, it suggests that I think Jen probably was seeing things. Let's just say that. I don't know if she was participating, but to me, it does seem very weird and interesting to a degree that why would you want to see your child being abused unless you already seen it?
Yeah. It's possible speculation. Yeah. I mean, I could see it. Depending on the depravity of the individual.
Exactly.
Yeah, Zam pointed out, I think she was curious which photos he didn't delete or which ones they actually had, which is a good point.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's another good point too.
Mm-hmm. All right. So let me know if y'all, it does appear, so I will be putting this out because we have heard a couple of things that I'm pretty sure are new or unredacted in this video. So I will definitely be putting it out, but let me know if y'all hear anything else. We've done 17 minutes of 2 hours and 9 minutes.
I want to say from 8:30 to like 10:15 because around 10:15 or 10:20 is when I got a phone call stating that he got home. He had gone to the vape shop, but I don't know if they weren't open or not yet. So he left.
Okay.
And then hung out around the house and waited till I got back for my doctor's appointment.
So he came back home.
Yeah, he did come back home.
Okay.
He grabbed his phone and called me from the house at that point. He had let me know that he accidentally left his phone. He was waiting for the vape store to open, but they never opened, or something like that. And then he went back home just to give it time, and then he went back out later.
Okay. So from 8:30 to 10:15, that's when he's saying the vape shop was closed and he came back home?
I think so. Something. I mean, I know he was killing time. He does this. He'll just like to aimlessly drive around to kill time. I believe him when he says that he was killing time. I believe him.
What's like usually?
I can hear her tapping her legs. That's what that tapping sound is. And she's stuttering because she's nervous as crap. And again, it's more of a nervous thing, which would tell me again that she already knew. And like you guys are saying, she's curious as to which photos that they actually have and what he was not able to delete. Like, do they just have the picture of her with his member in her mouth, or do they have everything? And she's nervous about it. And that's why she's tapping her foot and all of that. That's the speculation that I have right now.
Right. Which then, I mean, it just gives into the credence or at least the theory that she knew at the very least something was going on. Because why would you? It's like what any other normal human parent or just someone that cares about children wouldn't ask and just be curious. Well, what kind of pictures do you have? Can I see?
Yeah, that's not normal at all. I mean, yeah. Like, I mean, just taking me as an example, if you told me that
Mhm.
a child of the street that I don't even know was being abused, and I would be asking where that motherfucker is at. Sorry, I didn't mean to
Exactly.
cuss, but
No. You're speaking what I want to say, and everyone else in chat would say. It's like it's just bizarre, but Jen thinks it's normal at that
yeah,
time. To ask these kind of questions.
I definitely would not want to be seeing the pictures, especially my own child. I mean, you probably couldn't pay me enough money in the world to look at the damn pictures. Hell no, I
Mhm.
don't want to see that.
And I
Interesting.
was going to say one more thing too. I think whenever this freaking CSAM, I'm just hurry up and get to the CSAM trial because it's getting annoying to me. But I know how it's a legal process. But I, even though I said I don't like his lawyers right now, and definitely him, I do wonder if they're going to, when they have Potato on the stand, if they are going to ask her these kind of questions, if they play any of this in the, well, I don't know if they will, they probably will play some of these videos, and they're probably going to ask her, all the questions like, why would a mother want to see their child being abused?
Yep.
And I do wonder if they're going to do that. I feel like they might, but I wonder how Jen will react and say when that happens.
Yeah. I wonder how she will react too, especially when she's cross-examined. Hey, Foxy. Dainty Dane asked if there was a picture of her nude on a large rock. I have not heard that.
Same.
Remember when they were asking her about hiking? I bet they had those pics at that point, which begs me to ask, when was he alone hiking with her? Yeah, I don't know. I've never heard that. If I found it out, I would be number one asking you where you heard that first. But they do
Mhm.
ask a lot about hiking, but I think it's more in reference of they're trying to find her and places he might take her. But excuse me, then going down a different avenue, the fact that he has that solo masturbation cream in his book bag, it would unfortunately and horrifically not surprise me to find out that he did do something like that if he was ever hiking alone with Maddie. Because the peeping Tom thing and the masturbation cream in his book bag, he likes the kind of shock and awe. He's probably like one of those people who would do something in public, put cameras places. He was putting the horse or his semen in girls' drinks, we heard from the friend. So he does appear to be that type of
Mhm.
person to me. Chrissy says she'll plead the fifth. Orange says she thinks her goose is cooked. She's also bringing up the press conference here. She wants to make sure she knows what they know. I do. I think in the in the video that's playing on the screen, she asked them a lot of questions to find out what they know. Lil Red said there are hints that the CSAM taken from the phone were not properly seized. If the CSAM case is dismissed, that will be devastating to the murder trial. Yeah, we've talked about that. I'm real concerned about that too. But I did see they were talking about in the discovery we talked about yesterday, the supplemental discovery. They talk about the phone being entered into discovery. So I'm thinking, hopefully, that means that the phone is entered. And I'm wondering if they did this document dump to basically prove that he told them several times that they could take his phone. I'm
Right.
hoping
Yeah.
that's what this is about.
And I know this is that's probably one of the main things why the CSAM trial has been hindered is the defense is putting all the motions about, oh, his rights were blah, 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 blah. And it's like, sure, okay, well, I think the judge will probably see through it and just be like, nope, we'll allow it.
Yeah, I hope so, because that's the whole case. I mean, they could still try him on what's on the hard drive, but none of it's of Maddie. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm praying that that motion gets denied. All right, I'm gonna play this. I gotta step away for just a second, but I'll be right back.
Usually, how long does it take to go do her drop off and come back?
Like 45 minutes?
Okay. So
45, 50 minutes.
So give or take an hour.
Yeah.
So he should have been back home by like 9:30ish.
Yeah.
Okay. But then there's like 45 minutes to 30 minutes of a gap in time there.
Yeah.
Where could he have gone?
He says he was driving around aimlessly, just killing time.
So then he comes home, let's just say around 10:15 is what you're saying. What time did you get home from your doctor's appointment?
I would say somewhere between 11, 11:20.
And then did he leave again?
Yes.
How do you know he was home? Because you got the call.
Because I got the call and I think I saw him when I got home.
Okay. And then what time did he leave again to go to the babe shop?
I'm not sure.
I'm back.
I don't remember what time he left.
And then
Actually, hold on, let me think.
do you guys have a ring at your house? A ring doorbell? Do you have any video doorbell system? Do you have any cameras in the house?
No. I'm gonna say he left around somewhere between 12:30 and 1 o'clock, because I remember looking at the time going, I don't think he's gonna be done in time running his errands to be back by 2:30 when I need to leave to go get him.
Okay.
And he said he ran his errands, he stopped at a few comic shops or game stores or something like that. Then he got a flat tire somewhere on 182. He doesn't remember exactly where.
Hey, Jenna.
I remember him telling me he hurt himself changing the spare tire.
How did he hurt himself?
Something slipped while he was doing something with the, what's the crank that pops up that brings
The
up?
lift or
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking
the
about.
jack?
Something slipped and his finger got caught between the frame and the jack, I think. So
Okay.
he had to pull out his finger. So I know he's got a Band-Aid on his finger right now because of that.
So what time do you leave the house to go pick up?
2:30.
2:30?
Yeah, she gets that at 4. It takes me about 20 minutes to get to school, and then I wait about an hour and 10 minutes.
Yes, for the car line and everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like to be the first in line.
So at what point did you think, something's up?
Around 4:10 when she did not come out of school, and I was the first in line. I was holding up the line. I'm the first in line, there's cars behind me, and they already have their kids.
Right.
So when I noticed she had not come out, I drove away thinking, maybe I missed her. Maybe I forgot to tell her that I was picking her up from school today because I have a new work schedule.
Mhm.
So
What do you do for work again? Sorry.
I work
That water was me, sorry.
I just recently, that's the biggest reason I even called Stefan, was to come help me this week with her getting her to school, helping with the dog. That's the whole reason I even called him, was to come help me.
Here, I got our little boy.
A bullshit? A bullshit? A bullshit. A bullshit.
I don't think that's why she called him at all. I think she called him because something was with Maddie. I'm wondering if Maddie was with child and they needed to figure something out. Going to, okay, my channel is all speculation. It's not. I don't know. I do not know. I was not there. I did not see. But if we're gonna say that Jen was involved, my thought process on that is somehow Stefan convinced her that he was in love with Maddie and she was in love with him, and they wanted to be together. Okay. If she is involved in CSAM, I'm saying. And then she's like, okay, well, they're going to be together regardless. As long as they don't both leave me, it'll be fine. They can be together when she's 18 and they can still live here with me and they can still be here with me, whatever. And then she realizes at some point, maybe she caught them, and that's how she realized they're going to be together regardless, whatever. They're having relations. And then they know that pictures and videos of things like that go for a lot of money on the internet. So she's like, well, since you're already together and since you're already doing this, why don't, or Stefan tells her, why don't we start filming it and I make money off of it? Why don't I film me and Maddie, or you film me and Maddie? We start making money off of it since it's going on anyway. Like, that's the only way I can see her being involved. If she is involved, I would think it was something to that effect.
That's very much the same like theory I have too. Because but then the other theory, which other people kind of discuss, is that what if Jen was, it is really messed up to say, what if she was physically involved with Maddie too? Because it's just bizarre. There have been some weird things that I've seen. This the way she describes certain things to me that just sound like maybe that was involved too. But it's still in the same ballpark that yeah, she clearly knew him and Maddie were in a, excuse my French, fucked up situation.
Mhm.
And she knew probably, my personal theory that she figured out was probably when Maddie was a little bit older. I don't think she noticed too much when she was younger. You know, I think what
Right.
was the age? I think like 8 or 7 or 6. I think she was abused that
Yeah.
long.
Real young.
So I think that Potato finally figured out later, like probably I would say less than a few years ago. That's my personal theory. And she, of course, like you were saying, allowed things to continue to play on. And then I think maybe there was a pregnancy scare of some type. And then for whatever reason, Stinky did what he did. And of course, Jen had to help out with the situation. And what screwed Jen was the Woody Allen comment. And I think,
Yep.
like I said, when the defense brings that up and talk about it, I think they will. That's going to be something if I was a defense attorney or if I was a prosecutor, I guess. But I would say for the defense, I'll hit on that because, like, well, why would you bring up a Woody Allen comment situation? Why would you bring that up? Why would you mention that to your 13-year-old girl? Who else knows about the Woody Allen situation except most of us? You know that I grew up in that situation, with that era when that happened anyway. So it's like I know what that means. So yeah, this, it's just that's the only thing I can figure out is that she knew at least maybe a few years ago or accepted it at least, and then yeah, with the money situation, I think it was a child, like a child
Yeah.
being sort of business with them, and then I think Maddie either she finally stood up or she did the pregnancy thing, and that's what freaked out Stinky, and maybe
Mhm.
Jen too. I don't know if Jen wanted her per se deleted, um, but
It
yeah.
Yeah, it makes me question because, like, let's say all that was happening and she was like, okay, well, I guess since it's going on anyway, you can film it and make money off of it. And then Maddie comes to him or Stefan comes to her because Maddie's told him and says, I really messed up. Maddie's pregnant.
Hmm.
And then they
Hmm.
freak out. That's why he's looking up Florin because she's like, I can't, I mean, how am I going to take a 13-year-old to the doctor and say that she's pregnant? That's going to get us all caught. We need to figure something out. And that makes me question the sevoflurane or something like that if they were trying to
Hmm.
do something down that avenue and something happened. Also, Little Red brought up the comment, I can't risk it anymore. Now, if we're going to go,
Exactly.
the only thing that I don't know what that comment, the only thing I could think of about that comment is if Maddie was being abused while she was heavily drugged. And then I can't risk it anymore could mean, I can't risk doing this while she's drugged because she might wake up. She's been starting to wake up or something like that.
Hmm.
So, obviously, again, I just want to reiterate, these are all just speculations. I was not
Hmm.
there. I did not see. I do not know. If I had been there, Stephen wouldn't be on this earth. I tell you that. But
Same here. No, and yeah, I well with that particular comment, the one where I can't chance it. I always kind of saw it as, that's why I said it's a theory of mine, but that would suggest either that he was abusing Maddie while Jen was in the bed when they were in bed together, which then goes to, like I said, my other theory. I think personally, Jen was probably involved in the abuse as well.
mhm,
That's because I have heard before and it has happened. It's really fucked up, disgusting. But
yeah.
unfortunately, there are sick parents that would be involved in that kind of stuff. Couples, that would do that. Yeah, you just did that video a few weeks ago about that couple, the older man and the young woman abusing um their teen daughter or other children. It's like that. Unfortunately, these sick freaks
Yeah.
exist.
Yeah, they do, unfortunately.
Hmm.
So we'll definitely know more at trial, but yeah, that's the things that I've come up with so far on that avenue. And I appreciate you sharing yours as well. I think they're
Oh
all
yeah.
valid speculations considering the information we have.
Hmm.
Abellis, thank you so much for gifting 10 more memberships. That was so
Woo!
sweet, supportive of you. Thank you, Bazard. I'm gonna get the crazy train and come pick up all our new members on the way to Speculation Station. Thank you so much, Abellis.
I'm going off the rails on a crazy train.
Thank you so much, Abellis. That was so very sweet of you. I really appreciate that. Hey,
Mhm.
Brittany. Darlene said they were trading pills back and forth. In my opinion, there was a bar in Jen's car. Those are hard to get by prescription these days. Xanax bars are hard to get. And it did look
Mhm.
like a Xanax bar. I've seen those. From a long time ago. Brittany said, and a lot of the pictures of the abuse were in Maddie's room, which is out in the open. How could she not know, as they were always together? She said, that's another good point. And it said in that document, the abuse happened in room number 4 or in Maddie's room. Because I was trying to see if anything said it happened in Jen's room. That room that was Maddie's is right off the kitchen. It's got open partition. Like, how are you doing anything there without being heard or seen?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. But then that goes into her stupid little. God, every time I think about her, she makes me crazy. The little stupid little corp she did, where she's like, "Well, it's very rare," and then it's like, "Well, okay, maybe it's like 5 days out of a week or something." I'm like, "Well, make
Yeah.
up your mind." Excuse my language, but make up your mind, bitch. Like, come on.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why she drives me crazy. She just, yeah, she's worse in my. Okay, Stinky's bad, of course, but I feel like with Jen, she's just that. Like, you know what? I don't hit women, but I'll allow another female friend of mine or whoever beat the crap out of her. Like, go get her, just attack her, whatever.
Yeah. I see some of y'all are asking about Xanax bars. So the off-brand name is a Prolazam, and it is for nerves. You probably have heard about Valium. It's like a Valium, but it's a little different. It's I think it's a barbiturate. I think it's classified as a barbiturate. It causes sleepiness. It's for anxiety. It takes all the anxiety away, all the sadness, all the depression, basically a little happy pill. That's what it is.
Which kind of goes like another theory that I've always had, and other people I know mentioned that he was probably, of course, drugging her, which explains why she was always sleepy.
Mhm.
Almost like every day. Every time he was there, little poor Maddie was tired and sleepy and was, doing horrible things in school. And Jen and the company didn't seem to care, until it got too obvious.
Yeah, I don't see. It's the drug and Maddie thing. Considering that text message is definitely a speculation, right? But the first picture, image, or video image, it states, and very heavy trigger warning. It's just triggering. It makes me cry damn near every time I read it.
Mhm.
But that Maddie was watching TV, and Stefan said, "Put my member in your mouth and hold it there for 3 seconds, or I won't let you watch cartoons or play with my phone." Okay, so he wasn't drugging her at that young age, okay?
Mhm.
And if he
Mhm.
had manipulated her mind enough to make them believe they were together, I don't think, unfortunately, he had to necessarily medicate Maddie. I think that it might have been something normal. But then again, maybe he was medicating her. I mean, that goes to the text message. I can't risk it anymore. That's what makes sense on that avenue,
Right.
So
And then, well, from what the I don't know how she even slept with him, the ex-girlfriend, I think, and he really had that, what do you call it? The
thank you, Rose.
unconscious, yes, fetish. That's what I
Oh
think he
yeah,
had. hmm
good
And
point.
I think in some of the images that were described or videos that it seemed like she was unconscious. So
Mhm.
I don't know what. I can't say for sure if he was using drugs or not, but I think it's a possibility to explain his little fetish, because I don't think he can get it up like a normal man anyway.
Yeah, and that's a good point. I did have the documents here, but a lot of them say she appears to be asleep and he does this. She appears to be asleep and he does this. So, I mean, again, that's on the paperwork. So that goes down the avenue of them drugging her. And it makes sense with the text message. So I could be completely wrong. She might not have thought it was normal or been completely aware of everything going on
Mhm.
cognitively, you know.
Right. I
Yeah.
mean, he was clearly he was obsessed. Like this is like I've seen other videos of different other predators and stuff like that, but this is like probably the most with this particular case. He's like he was literally obsessed with her, and it was like he just couldn't stop it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Hello, Ever Love Me. It's good to see you. Ever Love Me said, I think both are possible, drugging and awake, due to the different descriptions of the images out there. See, that's always been confusing because some it seems like she was really awake and some
Mhm.
of them didn't seem like that. Y'all are dropping a lot of comments. Let me see what y'all are saying.
Yeah, I'm looking at someone too.
Yeah. Dan said it's why he returned to her deceased body. And that's another good point, like with taking into account the girlfriend's account where he wanted her to lay down and he was fully erect at that time when she was laying down pretending to be dead. And then he goes back to the body
Right.
every single night until he's caught. The masturbation cream in the book bag. I mean, you know, that's a possible speculation, I do believe.
Mm-hmm.
Beach Bum said my kids were in bed by 9 and allowed to stay up reading if they wanted that, but that was it. They always fell asleep reading. You know, my kids are in bed by 9, but I do let them have their phones to look at. I need to start iterating a rule where we all put our phones down at night and we can read until they fall asleep. That's a good thing. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
All I need is Jesus. Coffee and True Crime said no, he couldn't get it up unless they were children or sleeping, playing dead. The ex-girlfriend statement was horrifying. Yep, you're absolutely
It
right.
was. It was.
Nessa said Maddie's friend said she was doing well 2 weeks before due to not taking meds. I think she used the excuse of pregnancy to not take them, and an argument ensued. That's a good speculation. I think that's very possible.
Mm-hmm.
Because then that would explain her blood from the DNA paperwork that we had being in her private areas. And it was her blood, I mean, on the DNA paperwork, and her blood under her fingernails. Rhonda said, Jen and the 2 female roommates are the most unaware women I've ever seen. My friends and I would all be aware of the surrounding. These women are clueless. Women by nature ask questions. So to be fair, I think the roommates were gone a lot and they came in like late at night. And when you're in a situation where you're renting a room, you're going to do everything to keep peace. So I think she said something the one time to Jen, and Jen said thank you, where she saw them in the room playing the video games and the door was closed, and she mentioned it to Jen, and Jen said thank you. And I think that at that point she thought, well, okay, I guess Jen's okay with that, even though I wouldn't be. To be sure, she wouldn't let her child get abused knowingly, right? Like, to be sure, she's got Maddie's best interest at heart. Like, I think that's more along the lines of where the roommates were at.
And then one of the roommates had her son who had special needs, and I mean I can understand that clearly would take time to keep your attention. And I see that's why I don't. I know other channel folks will say they kind of do blame a lot of other people, and there's a truth to it. Like a lot of adults have some blame in a sense. Of course, the main blame goes to Jen and Stinky, but uh, yeah, I won't really blame the roommates per se. It's like even if I was in a situation, I wouldn't know unless I started paying attention or noticing. But then I would still, if I was in a roommate situation and I knew either it was a male roommate or female roommate had an ex that would constantly want to sleep with their child, I know for sure I would 100% be like, that's bizarre. And I don't like that. And I don't care if we could have fights or arguments. I think that's weird as shit. And if this keeps happening, I am going to report to CPS. I don't care. That's just me. Especially what happened to my sister and other people I've known over the years. I'm just going to be like, nope, that is weird as hell. I would never put myself in a situation like that. Why would you do the same for your own kid?
Right. And I'm so sorry about those things that happened to you and your friends. If we remember, I don't know, I think both of the roommates, if I know for sure one of the roommates stated that Madeline slept in her little room down there because they asked them where that Madeline slept. And I think one of them said in the bed with Jennifer and the other one said in her room which Madeline supposedly never slept in the room. So that made me feel like, oh, the roommate was assuming that Maddie slept in that room and didn't really because she was just not there enough to know that Maddie wasn't even sleeping in that room ever at all. From what Jen said, it was the hangout spot. She never slept there. So I don't think that they knew that Maddie was sleeping in the bed with Stephen, because if they're coming in real late at night and Stephen and Maddie are already up in the room, like I think was normal for them, then the door would have been closed and nobody would have known. But I mean, then you got to think about, well, what if they have to use the bathroom? Somebody would have seen Maddie coming out of the room, but if they went to their room and shut the door, the bathroom's right there off of their room, they would have not been out. They got food, they got the refrigerator and the microwave in the room, so I don't know.
Yeah, that's where it's like, depending on that sort of situation where they just come from home and they're tired, I can see that. But then, because how many years he was, doing this crap, it's like, I think eventually someone would have noticed a lot more weirder stuff. Like, why is Maddie with him? Why is he even here? I thought you guys were broken up. Why is he over here?
Yeah.
That kind of, like, for me, if you knew someone was your ex, or your roommates knew you had your ex and you were supposedly done, but yeah, you keep having him or her coming here and then sleeping with your kid still, and then you're sleeping by yourself, that's something I would question immediately.
Yeah, if they knew. I mean, I think I damn sure would, but I question if they knew. Now, they probably knew that she was broken up, but I mean, females will break up people break up and then get back together a lot. The one friend did know that Jen and Stefan were not sexually active, and he had just come back that night, I do believe. So maybe they were like, girl, what are you doing? Why do you got him back here? You know that you don't need to be messing with him. And then Jen's like, well, it's just for tonight or just for a couple of days. We're still trying to work it out. I love him. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, but then it's like, I know because Jen admitted, in the interview, it's like, well, kind of a sexist life. And I'm like, well, even then I would have been like, well, why would you still be in a relationship with someone and you don't even have any kind of physical relationship? Maybe you might kiss, but it's like, that's it. And then you want this person to take care of you, or live with you and take care of you and your child, and you have no kind of physical kind of relationship.
Yeah, I don't understand that either. That's just ridiculous to me. I don't know how you could be in a relationship and not have sex. And when you saying that, I was thinking about the lingerie in her drawer. She's got them fancy lacy bras in her drawers in there, but they haven't been active in over 7 years. And when she moved into that room, her and Stefan were together. So why do you got all that lingerie if y'all aren't sexually active?
There you go.
Yep. Boomer pointed out the roommates had some kind of feeling about him. They asked him not to use the bathroom upstairs. They did. They didn't like him. All right, I'm going to get back to this interview.
And what car did he come up in from down there?
In his dad's Cadillac.
Okay. All right. So you kind of get some concerns when she's not coming out.
She's not coming out, so I drove to my mom's office along the same path she would have walked. I didn't see her. Got to my mom's office. I asked my mom, is she here yet? She goes, no. And I said, oh, maybe I missed her. Maybe
Does she sometimes walk home from school?
She does.
To
my mom's office, yeah.
Gotcha. And then you pick her up from there?
Yeah.
Okay.
She didn't make it. So I drove back to... I think at this point I had called her best friend to ask, hey, is she with you? Because I went to pick her up from school and I didn't see her.
Right.
And she said, no, she never made it to the first or second period.
Okay.
And I was like, can you please check with the other friends to see if she made it to her other periods? I think at this point I emailed her teacher.
Right. Do you know if she has a Snapchat?
I don't believe so, no.
Okay. She just has an Instagram?
Yeah.
Okay. So after you go to your mom's office, you realize she's not there either. Is this when you go home?
No, I go back to the school drive the path again to see if I missed her. And then I go back to the school to check their attendance because her friends are telling me she never made it. But when I got to the school was already closed. So I drove back. I think at this point I had gotten a response from one of her teachers telling me she never made it to my period, and then he checked the attendance for the rest of the day. She never made it to any of her periods.
Gotcha. Okay.
This is when I start to panic and freak out because I know something is wrong. So I call. Sorry, I just thought about that image.
Okay. Take your time.
So I called 911.
So you called 911?
Or I don't know if I did or my sister did, but somebody called 911.
What was Stephanie's reaction when you said you were calling 911?
I called him and I said, she never made it to school. He's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, she got dropped off. I was like, you dropped her off? She never made it to school.
Mm-hmm.
I said, please come to the office right now. He goes, okay, I'm heading there right now. So he hauled ass came to the office.
And you're driving your car and he was driving his car?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he made it to the office and then we started calling. I was talking to 911, waiting for the cops, kept calling them back, kept trying to figure out where she might be.
Mm-hmm.
We were both sitting there pretty upset, pretty distraught, just thinking of the worst case scenarios. Eventually, we found out that there were missing, also 2 other missing children in the area, and that all the cops had gone to a park. So one of my family members went to the park to speak to an officer, to try to get an officer to come back to the office, and he did. And then he took our report.
Mm-hmm.
That was about 7:30, I think.
Monday night?
Yeah.
And what's Stefan's kind of demeanor been since then?
Y'all need to stop talking about donuts. Y'all making me want a donut so damn bad right now.
He's been absolutely a mess.
Do you think he would ever hurt?
I don't think he would.
Okay. I understand.
Like, I believe you when you talk to me about those images.
Mm-hmm.
Those images might be real, or they've happened, but I don't believe they're related to this case.
Alistair, can you pause for a sec?
Been
Yep.
going on for she's
Go ahead.
This is where I really wish I can't remember that detective's name. The one wearing the black and the green bottom. I really wish he really did hit on her more when she kept just insinuating, I need to see the images. I need to see it. And yeah, if I was a detective, I just would have been like Mrs. Soto or Miss Soto. I find it highly bizarre and questionable that an adult parent would want to see their child being sexually abused. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I just kind of wish he did hit her a lot more on that.
Yeah, I can't remember, but I think they do ask her why she wanted to see it. Like, yeah, it's definitely suspect and questionable. Hold on just a second. Sorry, children. Rhonda said, I've said that before. That is why she needed the constipation meds. Yet when Stephen wasn't around, she could probably use the bathroom. Normally, Jen never connected the dots. You know, that always stood out to me too, not trying to be graphic. I don't care. Go ahead. Not trying to be graphic, but then the attorney says, you know, my child's been on that medication too, as if he's trying to give her an excuse in the immunity interview. Like, because
Oh yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I would have found it odd. Some children, and now I'm not saying that all children that are on that type of medication are being abused by any means, but when you take that and couple it with the fact that she was questioning the Woody Allen situation, and Stephen and her were sleeping together, and Stephen likes to go in the back door, I mean, would the thought never cross your mind? And
Right.
then the attorney gave her that out by saying, "Oh, my child uses that medication too sometimes."
Well, I feel like maybe the district attorney didn't bring. I guess because that would have been like an evidence to be like, well, you know, your daughter was getting like from what the images are showing, I don't want to, you know, I hate to say it, but you know, was anally assaulting her multiple times. So maybe he didn't bring that up. But yeah, because I feel like if that does get bring up, that would be something the prosecution can bring up. Well, that's what she was on trial, I guess. But yeah, they would bring that up. That's the way in my mind, I'm thinking. if she was on trial, that would be something they can bring up and be like, well, Maddie was constantly, it seems, being abused in that particular area. And, it's interesting that you're saying that she had all this medication for it, for constipation, but it's like, well, isn't it not that, what was the word I'm trying to use for it? Isn't it not that unreasonable to think that she was having anal issues because Dummy was doing stupid stuff to her?
Right. And it says it in the unredacted that he was definitely abusing her in all the ways. So, in the unredacted discovery I've been reading. So, yeah, like you never had any, I mean, I just can't. And she talks about she showed her butt one time when she was constipated, and you never saw anything out of the ordinary when you were looking at her butt. Like,
Yeah, this is, it's, yeah. It's a head
yeah,
slapper for me. It really is.
yeah. I'm going to go ahead and play the audio because that's a hard thing to talk about. Had to unlock my phone. Okay.
It's been going on since she's been. Like, and I wish we could say, it's not true. We had.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'm going to mute you for a minute.
I've already been muted anyway.
Oh, okay. I don't know why it's not muted. I could hear you.
Oh, I was muted. I was doing something in the kitchen.
Oh, okay.
Images. We have
Yeah, it is.
This goes all the way back to 2022. Some of those pictures. I understand it's a lot to take in right now. I can only imagine what you're going through, but we need to know literally everything. At the end of the day, like I've told you many, many times, the sheriff's office main goal here, we want to find and bring her back home. That's what we want. But we need your help. We can only do so much. You're with her on a daily basis. You understand their relationship. You understand everything. But at the end of the day, we just need to know. Did he make any mention of going anywhere, taking her somewhere when he came into town? I know you said they like to play games together.
No, he didn't mention taking her away.
And prior to coming up Sunday, when's the last time he's been here?
Really, Nessa?
I say it's been over a month.
Has she ever made any comments to you about sex or anything like that? Being abused or anything like that? Hold on 1 second.
Sure, just 1 second.
I think this might be where it gets quiet for a minute. Sounds like somebody's whispering.
Somebody was whispering. I couldn't tell what they were saying there.
So there might have been a little bit of miscommunication here, but a Kissimmee police officer detective is going to come speak to you about everything that we just talked about, okay? So they're going to come talk to you with an Orange County detective. So I don't want to go too much further with you because they're going to go a little bit deeper. They know a lot more than I do. Okay, so they'll be able to explain a little bit more to you. Is that fair? In the meantime, do you need to use the bathroom or anything? It's okay. Take your time. Do you need any more water? Okay.
Are they coming here to interview?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, you're not going to have to go anywhere.
So yeah, I agree. It sounded like she was rehearsing or like repeating the script or something. There was definitely whispering going on. Carla's
When
painting a dog. Go ahead.
when they left the room, because I did hear a little bit, like she was whispering, but I couldn't really hear, but she was saying something to herself.
Yeah, she was. I wish somebody that's better at editing than me maybe could try to pull that audio up and see if we can figure out what it says. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Carlos painted dogs welcome and thank you for being here. Carlos said Stephen Stearns had an injury on his hand and he claimed it was from the jack, or was it a scratch? So he had an injury from the jack from where his thumb was pressed, and he had scratches on his hands too. We did the first part of the live trying to see if his blood was under her fingernails, because I remembered there being DNA under Maddie's fingernails. And there's scratches on his hands, but there was none of his DNA under her fingernails, from what I understand.
See, I always thought.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I was to say. I always thought that he was just using that excuse with the whole Jack thing because it was mostly just scratches on his hands. Like I always never thought that maybe like if he somewhat got a little pinch, but he was acting like, oh yeah, that caused what happened. I'm like, no, it was the freaking defensive wounds that you got from her.
Yeah. I didn't believe that he smashed his finger at all with the jack until somebody pointed out yesterday that there was a blood blister under his thumbnail. So I guess he did, but or it could be from her, but
Mm-hmm.
the scratches definitely are not from a jack.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, JPL said, wait, I'm listening to this a little behind, but I realized that Jen said that Maddie didn't have Snapchat. Well, that's the only way her best friend could talk to her, because she had Snapchat. I do, in this, because I've just read the Discovery, and they talk about Madeline's stuff, and I thought I remembered them saying that she had a Snapchat. So you could be right. You're probably right.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, she had Discord and a bunch of other things too. Blue Giraffe said his rookie mistake. Yeah, that's what he calls it. The scratch could even be Jen's. She is nasty, said Liddy. Plunder's latest video focuses on her a bit. Okay, I'll definitely check it out. We love Plunder, Grish, Strategic Eyes, and all of them. Grish, I'll try to send it to him and see what he can make of it, and see if he can isolate the whispering.
I feel like he would find out. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll email him and see if what he can do with it. Hio gifted 5 speculation station memberships. Thank you so much for that. That was so very sweet and supportive of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Hio.
Y'all are being so sweet, shaking out the bushes today. My goodness. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate that. If you were gifted from Hio Sandra Firelight and you are aware, please tell her thank you. And I'll grab the crazy train and pick y'all up on the way to speculation station.
I'm going off the rails on a crazy train.
Thank you so much. That was so very sweet of you. All right. I have to unlock my phone when we pause because it locks. All right. Play the audio. Thank you again, Hio. What was that?
Maybe like paperwork or something. Yeah.
I don't know. It was something close to whatever's recording. Are they whispering?
I don't want to see those images, but I do. I feel like I need proof evidence, but like I'm afraid of being traumatized forever, so I'm not sure what to do.
That's okay. And the Kissimmee detective, we'll go over everything with you, okay?
That's strategic, Lisa. Bye, Chaz.
Can I get you anything?
She said, I'm good, thank you. Hey, Jed. We're trying to see if we hear anything different in this CSAM audio interview. We've heard a few things so far. Things have been redacted, unredacted, that were redacted.
How long have you been working at? For?
Less than 2 weeks.
Oh, so you just started there?
Yeah.
Are you just like in training, or how does it work?
Yeah, I'm in training.
Okay. What did you do before that?
I was a substitute teacher for a little bit, but for the most part, for the last few years, I've just been living off disability.
Okay.
I agree, Lori. Oh, Bazard rolled out. This part's quiet for a little bit because they're getting the Kissimmee Police Department officers. She's been whispering something. Oh, yeah. Irene said, please hit the thumb up and keep the channel in the algorithm. Please do. I appreciate that. Yeah, that was concerning. A substitute teacher. I wonder what Jim bought herself from the GoFundMe that was set up. I don't know, Rhonda. Oh, I paused my interview. I didn't mean to do that. Sorry. Yeah. Bella said a substitute teacher working at Disney, not sus at all. Or that she emailed the teacher at the school that was convicted of C-step. Little Red said, it unhighlighted it.
Those big breaths sounds like she's being put out by them asking her these questions. I heard she bought a new car with the money and she paid nothing to the funeral. Oh, really? I don't know. I haven't followed it that closely. That's interesting. Genevieve. Hold on a minute. This is Orange County. Might be the school. Hold on.
I need time, just a little more time. I need time. I need time, just a little more time. One more time, one more time. I need time, just a little more time. I need time. I need time, just a little more time. Next to you. Set the mood, yeah, you're nice. You can have my heart, just name the price. Trying to get a grip, you became a vice. Need a piece of your love if you save the slice. Okay, should come around my way. I've been trying to make you bae. That's just something I should say. I'm like, okay, should come around my way. I've been trying to make you bae. That's just something I should say. And I'm like, I need time, just a little more time.
Hold on, I'm back. It was the state's attorney's office returning my FOIA request. So let me turn this music off and we'll get back to the interview. I thought it was the school. It was coming out of Florida, so I had to answer. I do apologize. Sorry about that. Okay, so I'll put the audio back on. Thank y'all for waiting patiently. Y'all are amazing. I really appreciate it. Is the music off? It should be. Okay. Irene, I think so too. I really appreciate y'all waiting patiently. Y'all are so amazing. Like, not everybody will do that. So thank you guys for that. You guys are awesome. I don't blame him. Because if Tyler had her, I don't think he would have seen signs, I think. Seems well educated enough.
You okay? It's your head.
No, just a lot of anxiety. Just thinking about how he didn't know, how he didn't see anything.
Oh, stop playing again. Yeah, they called me about the FOIA request I had put in. Hio. Cara said, in my honest opinion, I think one of the reasons they kept Maddie from Tyler is because he would start connecting the dots. And I have questioned that as well. I think that that's a possible speculation as well. And Mercedes pointed out that if Tyler had been a more present father, then he might have seen something. And I agree. Boomer, I'm sorry you had to stop watching somebody because of the rumors. I try to make sure that everything I say is factual, or if it's my opinion or speculation, I state it as such. That was weird to me too, Super. A Maddie sandwich. Like, I was like, who says that? That's kind of weird and concerning. Like, why would you even suggest making a Maddie sandwich? I don't know. It's weird. I don't know. Bye, girl. I know that there's pictures of them all three together when she was very young.
Let's say all the sexual stuff didn't happen, or we know it happened. What if he's telling the truth about dropping her off and driving away and driving around in circles and getting to the vape shop? Is there video evidence of him in front of the vape store? Because I know there's banks around, right in that same plaza. There must, in an Amscot, there must be video of him pulling into that plaza and waiting.
What do you mean? What's your question?
If you guys have found evidence of him being in front of the store like he said he was, like, it's possible that his story might be true and somebody else could have taken her. Like, I'm just thinking, like, what if we're focusing, like, okay, the sex things happened, right? But what if that's completely a side thing and not having to do with this, like her missing?
Yeah.
What if
I got you.
So, Voices Carrie said, I've never heard that part about the bank and etc. I haven't either. I didn't think I had either. And I wrote down the time. I was like, wait a minute. I don't think I've heard that before either.
So thank you for pointing that out. Oh, Michelle, thank you for being here, love. And Bad Girl gave us all another trigger warning. Thank you for that. Maddie did never look happy in the pictures with Stefan and Jen. Hio sent me 2 more I need to share with y'all too, if I don't forget. I didn't think I'd heard that part either.
So just like Detective Khalees explained, that's why the Kissimmee detective and the Orange County detective are going to come and talk to you about it. Obviously, it's two different things that we're talking about, but they may be tied together. They may not. We're not sure. But that's why we want to talk to you and get as much information as possible. That's what the detectives are going to come and talk to you and, try to help us out. Get as much information.
Am I allowed to talk to my sister right now?
Right now, just hang on for right now until after they're done.
I think about the press conference. I don't know. Can you tell me? You weren't there. I just want to know what was said at the press conference. What did I miss?
They'll let you know. What are you worried about that you missed?
Nothing, just if there's a new piece of information that I haven't heard or something. But I know you guys are keeping me in the loop.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
She wants to know what they know.
I just keep hoping. Just hoping she's still out there and she's still alive. I don't think Stefan would have done anything to her. But
Darlene, I don't think that Tyler knew at all. I just think it's a weird thing to say. Darlene said Tyler didn't know about the abuse. I'm sure he didn't mean anything bad by saying that. But I agree he should have been involved with Maddie a lot more. Maybe she would have confided in him. I agree 100% with what you're saying. Michelle pointed out that she's fishing. Was that a fly? I hope not. I don't think there's any in here. Maddie's sandwich sounds a little icky. It does. I don't think Tyler knew anything, but it does. Okay, Beach Bum, good to see you.
I agree, Darlene. It is. Mercedes said that poor dead plant on the table is so representative of Jen's soul. Oh, it was on their video. Okay. Oh, wow, Foxy.
Hey, good afternoon. I was calling because I have an appointment today at 5:30. I was staying at work a little later. I was wondering if I could cancel it. Okay, thank you. It's under Lewis at 5:30. All right, thank you.
Lisa said, how would you know that camera's by the bank? I think they did that on purpose so he would have an alibi and be on camera. I really do. It's a good question, Lisa Lynn. Hey, always late.
I just got a text from Stefan's dad asking where he could, because I guess he was at the conference.
Mhm.
Now he's just waiting.
Okay.
He's asking where he could wait.
He can wait either in the front it's the west lobby. So it's the one where the big flagpoles are in. It's the main entrance. Or he can wait in the car.
In the west lobby, the main entrance with all the flags.
Yeah. Yeah, with the big flagpoles. It's the one that says Orange County Sheriff's Office right at the front. It's on the easiest way to find it. It's on the Colonial Drive side.
I don't know if we're going to be able to finish all this today. We're halfway through and it's 3:44. And we're going to try to. All I need is Jesus said to step concerns me, Maddie, to the trunk before going to the vape shop. And I haven't been able to find that out yet because supposedly there's an interview that shows Madeline in Stefan's car at the vape shop. Supposedly they asked him about that, but I haven't found the interview yet. I'm working on it. This is where they get the message that they found Maddie. I think, are you talking about in the actual video part? Yeah, I think that this interview took place before the one that you see on screen, if I'm not mistaken.
Is Colonial Drive this road right here?
It's not the one that you guys came through. It's the other one, the one that goes east to west.
That has been debunked. Okay. Okay. $9.40, I believe. All I need is Jesus. He did go to the vape shop, Mercedes. They got a receipt.
I don't want to skip past all this because they do have like little chit chat. And we did hear that information about the bank. Okay, Michelle. So the one we're listening to, I believe, my lovely Jenny Jen said it's February 28th. The one on screen is March 1st, and they find her body, I think, pretty much right after this interview. They might have got a call during this interview, but the one we're listening to takes place before the one that's on screen. I just put that up so we had something to watch while we listened. Oh, you're okay. My daughter made me some chicken salad. She loves to make chicken salad, so I was trying to quietly eat that. It's really good. I was like starving. Y'all were talking about donuts. Mm-hmm. She's texting somebody. I know, my children are so sweet. I was really blessed. That sounds good, Cara. Jen said she was texting Stephen. You think so? I think that she's told them there's CCTV there for that reason, so that she would be able to be like, but look, he's right there on camera. No, I don't do the apples and pecans. I agree, that's weird. Pretty much stoic. Abellis, go eat, baby. Smoky Mountain, there have been a few busted in St. Cloud. She's breathing deep, heavy breaths. I was hungry, but I didn't want to go in the kitchen and be loud trying to listen because I knew with my microphone on while we're listening to this call, it would be really loud and like really detrimental to what we're trying to do. Oh, really, Cara? That's cool. She is trying to fish for info. Bad girl. I think he's been told to stop basically talking to her until Kissimmee gets there. I think that's why they're sitting there kind of in awkward silence.
Yeah, how are you? Good, how are you? Hello, this is Mark.
That's
I work
Mark
for the
Morris.
Mississippi Police Department.
Thank you. That's your work phone?
No.
Is that what?
But that's the.
Okay, thank you.
So the reason I am here, or we are here, is because we think when went missing, you live in our city limits. Okay. So that's the reason we got involved now. Okay, you understand?
Yeah.
All right, so I understand you probably answered a lot of questions and you've got a lot of stuff going on. I am apologizing now. I may ask you the same things that you've already been asked. That's just because I like to hear it for myself. Okay, and I know you've been speaking with her quite a bit, but we want to do what we can to find it as soon as possible. Okay, so that's our main focus right now. All right. So, but before I get started, your first name is right?
Yes.
And your last name is. What's your telephone number?
Shh.
And you live. Is that right? Okay. What apartment number is that? Okay, so I'm gonna ask you, and once again, I apologize. So on Monday, you should have gone to school. Is that right? Okay. So tell me how that morning went. Actually, let's go the night prior. So
Night prior, she had a party at my mom's house. I couldn't be there because I was at work.
where do you work at? Okay.
You know, one thing I've noticed when I was reading the documents, like the discovery and other things like that, they redacted the word birthday party, and they keep redacting the word birthday party, which is weird to me. Okay, sorry. Had to make sure the kids weren't on their phones. Mercedes said by the time he dumped her in the bamboo area, she would have been in, rigor and difficult to position. That's why she was in the fetal position when found, because that's the position she was in the trunk. That makes sense. That definitely makes sense.
She had a party, she had a good time, she spent the entire time with my family.
Mhm.
Later that evening around 8:30, my sister dropped her off at my house. And she started getting ready for bed, or doing her nighttime routine, which is take her meds and get in the shower.
Mhm.
About 10 minutes after she arrived, Stefan arrived. And he let me know that she was doing what she was supposed to be doing.
Stefan is
My boyfriend.
your boyfriend. Okay.
He arrived. He made sure she was doing what he needed to be doing. I got home around 10:30 and saw that she was almost ready for bed. I ate. We talked for a little bit. Asked how the party was, to show me her gifts, how everything went,
Mhm.
and then she went to bed.
And this is around. You said around 10:30. She went to bed.
Around 11.
11. Okay.
At this point, I sent them. We have 2 bedrooms. We're a 4-bedroom townhouse, but there's a bedroom and a guest bedroom.
Okay.
I sent them upstairs to the guest bedroom because I had not slept well the night before. I had forgotten my psychiatric meds and was feeling off. I was not feeling okay. So when I got home from work, I said, guys, I need a good night's sleep. They all wanted to sleep in my bed, all 3 of us together.
Okay. Is that normal?
Yeah, for us to do that, yeah.
Okay.
When he's not around, he sleeps with me.
Mm-hmm.
If he's around, he'll sleep upstairs sometimes in the guest bedroom or with us in our bed.
Mm-hmm.
But the 3 of us on my bed is pretty uncomfortable. It's a king, but my child sleeps like a monkey. She just kicks and punches.
One or two, I know.
Yeah. Chill up on one side and wake up on the other. It's just, yeah. So I asked them to sleep upstairs that night to give me a good night's sleep, and they said okay, they would. And from what as far as I'm aware, they went upstairs. They went to sleep. I was woken up around, I want to say 8 o'clock.
I just noticed, why does she say, as far as I'm aware, they went up and stairs and went to sleep? Why are you saying that? Are you saying, as far as I'm aware, because you're trying to stick to the script and you just messed up? Or are you saying, as far as I'm aware, they went up to the room to go to sleep? That would tell me that you never saw them that night, which is what I've speculated this whole time. You never saw them at all that night. You just assumed that Maddie went upstairs and went to bed with Stephen. That's why you said the last clothes she had on was the clothes that she had on the day before at school. She said, I assumed they went upstairs.
In the morning on Monday, and I got up to try to help him with it, but Stephen got it and walked him and told me to go back to bed, so I went back to bed.
Okay.
I heard people in the kitchen. I'm not sure exactly who, because I do have roommates, and they're up at all hours. So I heard somebody in the kitchen. I assume he was getting ready for school. Left her phone on her nightstand. I know she walked into the kitchen, into her bedroom to get ready and all that, because she left her phone on her dresser in her bedroom. And I know she did that while she was getting ready that morning.
Now, what is considered her bedroom? Where at?
In the living room.
Okay.
We've got like a little wall partition, and she's got a bedroom in the living room. It's got a bed, a dresser, a desk, and a TV. She doesn't sleep there though. She just hangs out there during the day. That's her space. She'll hang out there. Yeah, she got ready, supposedly, and they were off. They left to school early. I'm not sure what time they left.
What time does her school start, you know?
She's
Lord, Mommy, I misunderstood you earlier. I said laugh out loud because you're talking about the text she sent that night telling them to go to sleep because she totally knew they were awake, like you just said. I thought you meant the texting we heard just a minute ago during this interview. She was saying that she needed to go to sleep right now. She was texting somebody from the interview room saying, I need to go to sleep right now. That's why I said LOL. I apologize for misunderstanding. And hey, Lisa. Rhonda said, Jen also said we dropped her off close to the school. Yeah, she said that many times. She also wrote in their statement that she saw Madeline getting ready for school that morning and knowing damn well that she didn't. Abella skipped in 10 more memberships. My goodness, y'all are shaking out them bushes today. Thank you so much for that. Again, I can't check right now because we got this audio up on my phone. But if you were gifted a membership from Abellis and you are aware, please tell her thank you. That was just so sweet of you. Y'all are shaking out them bushes today, boy, I tell you. Thank you so much for the support. Y'all are amazing. Trying to get my thing because it was all the way down at the music where I played music a minute ago. I'm going to play the Polar Express for you, love. Maybe if it'll play. Thank you so much, Abellis. That was so very sweet of you. You're so kind and supportive. That was so sweet. All I need is Jesus said her body has given her a dose or two of cortisol that makes you sleepy almost instantly. Yeah. Okay. Oh, hold on. My phone locked. I got to get back in.
gotta be at school at the latest by 9:28.
What, do you know what time her school starts?
9:28.
Okay.
Thank you, Abellis.
Okay.
From what I was told, he dropped her off somewhere between 8:30 and 8:45, or somewhere along that line, around that time.
And Stefan told you this?
Actually, that timeline might be from what the cameras, the church cameras you guys have told me about, but we don't know if that was really her, so I'm not sure about the timeline anymore. He said he went, I think he had given me a timeline of, he dropped her off somewhere between 8:20 and 8:45, but he's not sure exactly what time.
Okay.
He said they were making good time that morning. He was like super impressed with how quickly she got up, got ready, and was out the door. I know she wanted to meet up with her friends at school early. And I know
Did she tell you that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I know she wanted McDonald's early that morning for breakfast.
Mhm.
But Stefan said she was asleep in the car for the majority of the car ride, and he kept trying to talk to her and talk her into getting McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
But she kept saying, no, just drop me off.
Okay.
So this is where she got dropped off somewhere on the road, close to school, and I don't know what happened to her. But this is what I was being told happened that morning.
Gotcha. And then you went to pick her up after school. Is that right?
Yeah. I left the house at 2:30. School is not let out till 4 o'clock, but it takes me about 20 minutes to drive, 25 minutes.
Mhm.
And then I wait that hour outside. I like being the first car in line. I like being the first.
So it'll take you an hour to get through the line, if you know.
Exactly. So I like being the first parent. I waited that hour and something minutes for 4 o'clock to show. 4:04 is when the bell rings. Waited there until like 4:10, and she didn't come out. That only sounds like a few minutes, but in those few minutes, the cars behind me got full of children. I'm the first in line, so there's cars behind me already picking up the children. They're waiting to get out.
Mhm.
So I felt pressured and rushed. So I decided to drive away. I'm like, she's not here. Something's wrong. Or maybe I forgot to tell her that I was picking her up. Maybe she just decided to walk to my mom's office. She'll do this sometimes. This is pretty close to the school. So I decided to drive along the path that she would have walked. And I drove to my mom's office and I asked, has she made it? And they said, no. And I said, okay, let me drive the path again and see if I see her along the way. Drive along the path. I park on the road where she would be walking. And I waited there for about 15 minutes and nothing. She didn't appear.
I didn't remember hearing her say before that she got anxious and worried or something to that effect. So that might be different, or I could be remembering wrong. Rose Thorne said Maddie told Jen that she was meeting a friend that morning. When? I didn't remember hearing that before, but supposedly he dropped her off at the school and she was going to meet up with a group of friends. It looks like my internet's cutting out, so I'm trying to see if it starts working. Hopefully y'all can hear me. And that was the reason he dropped her off so early, was because she didn't want to be seen in his car. She was meeting up with a group of friends and whatnot. So Stefan could have told her that she was supposed to meet up with friends and she could have repeated it. Mom's office might be unredacted now because, yeah, that's probably right, because for the longest time I thought it was the school office. So you're probably right. I need to write that down. Trying to make sure, because it just like blipped. Okay. I think that is new, Hio, and thank you for pointing that out. I'm definitely going to write that down, because I remember now that you've said that, I thought it was the school office for the longest time, and she did say her mom's office that time. So I wrote down the time so I can check that. Thank you.
At this point, I returned back to the office. She should have been at the office by this point. It's like 4:35.
Mhm.
She did not appear. So at this point, I call her best friend and I asked her best friend, hey, is it with you? I don't think I told her I was coming to pick her up, but she's not walking or she's not at school. And she's
Rose Thorne, I wrote that down. I didn't hear that, but I'm definitely going to check it. And thank you for pointing that out too.
said, no, she never made it to first or second period. And I said, what do you mean she got dropped off? And she's like, she never made it to first or second period. I said, can you please check with your other friends to see if she made it to her other periods? At this point, I start panicking and I drive back to the school to check her attendance, but the school office had already closed. So
What time was this?
This is around 4:45.
Okay.
And
the school was closed already?
I think they closed at like 4:30.
Mhm.
I went to the school, I rang the bell, they were closed, nobody was opening the door. So we decided to leave, but I had already emailed one of her teachers. I think when I had spoke to her best friend, I had emailed the teacher. The teacher confirmed that she never made it to his period and never made it to any of her other periods that day. He checked her attendance for the whole day.
Mhm.
When he told me this, I realized something was really wrong. It's truly wrong. And I called, why did I call? My sister called 911. I started having a panic attack.
And what time was this?
I want to say around 4:45, 4:50.
Okay.
And yeah, I called Stefan. I asked Stefan, I'm like, did you drop her off? He said, yeah, why? I'm like, she never made it to school. He's like, what? What do you mean? I'm like, I don't know. Just come to my mom's office. She's not here. She's not here. And he drove immediately to the office and then waited with me while we called 911. I was having a panic attack, trying to stay calm, but it was really hard. I think we waited about 3 hours for the police to show up. I think 2 children had gone missing around the same time in a park nearby, so all the cops were answering that call. Eventually, a family member went over to the park and spoke to an officer and let him know, hey, there's another missing child. Please come take the report. So they followed him and brought him to the office, and then he took down our statements and made the report, and then everything, the process started. They were there for, I'm gonna say 1 to 2 hours, and then it was time to go home.
Okay. So ever since then, since the officer took the report, or the deputy took the report, have you been driving around?
I've been staying at home just in case she comes home.
Okay.
My family, I have a huge family.
Mhm.
They've been driving around. They've been walking the walking path behind the school. They've been handing out. They've handed out like 1,000 flyers already.
Mhm.
They're the ones who contacted the news.
Has she gone missing before?
Never.
She's never ran away, even if it's for a couple hours or anything like that? Okay. So when you physically or talked to her, it was the night before,
Yes.
is that right? Okay. And how was she then? What was her demeanor?
Happy. She had the best party.
Mhm.
She loved her presents, her gifts. She had a lot of money.
Mhm.
So she was showing me all that.
Okay. So how was her sleeping habits? I know you said she was up and at 'em in the morning. Is she, because some kids like to sleep all day, some kids get up and then they're ready to go. What's she like?
So when she sleeps with me and I have to wake her up,
Mhm.
she's difficult. She'll snooze 3-4 times. We'll hit the alarm a few times, let it ring, and then go back to sleep. And let it ring and then go back to sleep.
You guys are pointing out some really good things. I'm trying to let it play so we can get through everything today. Lord Mommy. Oh, you said, okay. I thought you were, excuse me. I thought you were upset with me. You want to start your own channel so you can talk about how she's not being charged or isn't being held responsible. Yeah. I mean, you should put your voice out there. I would encourage you to start your own channel and let people know how you feel. You never know what will happen. It irritates me, but I mean, unfortunately, hey Gothic, want to say that they did say in July to Stephen Stern's dad that they've been through her phone line by line thousands of hours and said that Stephen worked independently. So I don't know. Always late. I need to be making some chili. That sounds good too.
When it's her waking up herself and she sets her own alarms on her phone, which is what I think she did that morning, she usually gets up pretty quickly. She doesn't snooze. She'll get up, she'll immediately go do what she needs to do, and then she'll either lay back down in bed and snooze until it's time to go, or just be ready to go.
Do you take her to school?
Yeah.
Okay. When you take her to school, where do you drop her off at?
At the school.
Okay, so you pull in through the line and drop her off at the front and stuff like
Yeah.
that. When she goes to school, when you take her to school, is she talkative in the car, or what does she do on the way there?
Not really. She'll be on her phone. We'll listen to the radio station, or listen to some Taylor Swift. Yeah, she's pretty quiet. Or she'll be snoozing, sleeping.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So going back to Stephen, was Stephen at the party?
No.
No. Okay.
He was traveling from Northport, Florida to
Where's Northport?
Sarasota County.
Oh, okay. And he got here when?
So if she got dropped off around 9:30, 8:30, he probably showed up around 8:45.
Did you know he was coming?
Yes.
Okay. So you guys hung out? What did you guys do that night? Okay.
Yeah. What did we do that night? I only spent about 30 minutes with them because I had to go to sleep. I had to take my meds and go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that they need to go to sleep because they have to go to school, or she had to go to school. I usually like making bedtime around 10:30. So when I got there and she was still up, I understood why she was still up. She was waiting for me and wanted to show me all her presents and stuff. But by 11, I was just like, you guys need to go to bed. It's late. Like, it's super late.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I forgot what I was gonna say.
Is it normal if he comes to see you that he wouldn't sleep with you, or?
Yes, it's normal for him to sleep upstairs in the guest bedroom.
Okay.
Because
What
that's not
makes
weird.
it different from when he sleeps with you or the three of you or upstairs by himself?
It all depends on the circumstance of what's going on. For the most part, if it's a school week and me and have to go to school, I send them upstairs because I know that my alarms are going to go off multiple times super early in the morning and I don't want to wake him up. And it's difficult to wake up, so I have to constantly be talking to her, shaking her. So for the most part, it's me in the bed downstairs and he goes upstairs.
What made it different that night? For
The fact that I forgot my bipolar meds Saturday night.
Mhm.
I don't think she mentions what time she canceled the Botox appointment, just that she did, Boomer. I don't remember hearing that. Voices carry, the whole thing is weird. By the way, my voice carries very far. I've always gotten in trouble for that. Yeah, Abellis, you definitely should. I think you would do good. You don't have to show your face. As you guys know, I don't show mine just yet. I will eventually, but I got to take care of a few things first.
And I was not acting normal Sunday. And I realized Sunday night, oh my God, I forgot my meds Saturday night, which is why I've been so freaking weird today. I'm like, I need to take these meds and I need to sleep. I need like a good night's sleep. I can't wake up early in the morning. I can't take her. I can't do any of that. Like, I need you to do it. That's primarily the reason I told him to come from Northport, Florida to help me was this week because of training at work. I needed help. I needed support. So I invited him up to help me with that.
How long have you guys been together?
On and off for a total of 7 years.
Okay. Did you work on Monday?
No, I was off.
You were off, okay. So Monday during the day, What would you do throughout the day?
I had a blood work appointment at 10:15, 10:30. That took a little while to be seen.
Did Stefan go with you?
He was not home he had not gotten home by the time I left.
You remember what time you left?
Around, I think 9:30.
And where was your blood work at?
About 15 minutes away.
Which way? Towards Kissimmee or Orlando?
Towards Orlando. It's on the border of Kissimmee and Orlando. It's in the loop. It's across the street from the loop. There's a doctor plaza there. There's a LabCorp there. So I went to LabCorp and I got blood work.
Okay.
Waited there for a while. Then I must have gotten home sometime between, let's say 11:15, 11:30, something like that, or from 11 to 11:30 sometime.
Hey, Alpine Arts, she did call him her boyfriend, and the officer in the interview I just released refers to her as his wife, and Stefan doesn't correct her. Yeah, and she referred to him as her boyfriend, not her ex, and that's questionable too, because to everybody else and even the officers, he's supposed to be her ex. That's supposed to be why he's sleeping upstairs. I'm glad you pointed that out. Stop blocking. Hold on, my phone locked.
And he was there. But before that, while I was at my blood work appointment, he actually called me. He said, "Hey, I'm sorry, I left my phone at home. I was running some errands. Did great this morning. We made super great time. She got ready super fast. We left super early. I offered her McDonald's multiple times, but she refused. So she asked to be dropped off early. And so he did.
Did she ever go to school? Did she ever ask to go? Because sometimes kids don't want to go to school, period. Is it normal for her to ask to be dropped off early?
Yes, sometimes.
Okay.
She's asked me multiple times to ask her to drop her off early. She wants to meet up with her friends, or she wants to get there earlier and earlier just to meet up with her friends.
But you still drop her off at the school?
Yes.
Okay. So she hangs out with her friends within the school?
Yes.
Okay.
The only reason I think he did not take her to school directly that morning is because she has voiced multiple times, "Hey, is Stefan taking me to school? Can you please drop me off far away?" She's embarrassed by his car. It's a Cadillac. It's not that old, but to her, it's an old hoopty. She can't be seen in it. She doesn't want to be seen in it. So she's made that comment before. "Please drop me off far away. I want to walk."
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. And you look at the car, to me, it looks like a normal car. It looks
Karen, do you not hear anything at all? You don't hear an interview? I know there's no sound on the video because we're listening to an interview from my phone. Is everybody else can hear it, right? Okay, you said there is sound. Okay. Okay. I was seeing what y'all were saying, sorry.
looks old, but
Gotcha. Okay, so what's your and Stefan's relationship like?
so it's a little complicated. I want to say we're on again, off again. When he had moved back down to Northport in December, we were broken up, but we still kiss. We're still affectionate.
Why'd you guys break up? If you don't mind me asking.
Because in my eyes, he's very childish. Well, not childish. He's just very sloppy. He's very messy. He doesn't clean up after himself. He doesn't help around the house or contribute. And I felt like I was the only one doing the household chores and the cleaning and the cooking and stuff. And I'm just like, listen, I know I'm disabled, I haven't worked, but I kind of, it needs to be fair. Like, you need to help me out and be a partner. And I didn't feel like he was being a partner.
I don't remember hearing that part before because I've always wondered what the actual reason for them breaking up was. So that might be new. I think that's new. Excuse me. Basil has entered. I was trying to highlight Lisa's comment, but it froze. Lisa said, I thought he never took her to school beforehand. That was the first time. She's claiming Maddie asked if he was taking her to school. She did claim that, and he said he took her to school maybe 5 or 6 times, but everybody else said he's never taken her to school. I think Jen stated he took her to school once before. The friend said that he never took her to school. Everybody else, the neighbors. Lord, Mommy said, I'm just ready to vibe this chick out of this solar system. Maybe if we do it all at the same time, like a Care Bear stare. Yeah. Something needs to happen. I agree with that statement 100%. Something's got to happen. Rhonda said they are very loose with the truth. He never leaves his phone at home, nor does Maddie. Yet the one day that they both do, Maddie goes missing. Red flags, Jen. Why doesn't she suspect him? I think she doesn't suspect him because she already knew, in my opinion. And my phone locked again. Okay, so that's at 1:15.
Yeah, that's pretty much why. There's nothing major happening. Like, it's just my feelings of, I was just tired of cleaning up after him and tired of not having the partner that I wanted.
And when you guys got back together, or on and off, as you said, that's been since he's left, or just more recent?
I'm gonna say more recent. We were still kissing while we were broken up and all that. So
Would he come here? Would you go there?
he would come here. He's only been gone for the last 2 months. So he's come here those few times.
What about your guys' sexual relationship?
I haven't wanted to have sex in a very long time, but that's due to my psychiatric medications. It just completely kills anything down there. It's not enjoyable, it's not fun for me. So I don't have sex. And I think that was a big problem not a big problem, but of course an issue in our relationship.
Did he ever mention that to you?
What exactly did he mention? And then he had told me he was like, frustrated, I guess. I'm gonna use the word frustrated. But I know he's had sexual relations with other people. I'm not bothered by that. That's whatever he needs to do.
Me too, Boomer.
Yeah.
Well, obviously there's a little bit of, actually, I don't want to get to that again. Who drives your car?
Primarily me. On Monday night, he drove my car.
Monday night when?
After we went to bed, after the cops had been called and all that, he took my car and decided to drive around to see if he could keep searching for her, looking for her, seeing if there was anything.
What time was that, do you remember?
I don't know. I know he took my car and left because when I got into the front seat of the car had been adjusted. And he's like, remember I said I was going to go out? And I'm like, yeah, that's right. You did tell me that you were going to go out. I just don't remember. He never told me what time or anything. But he did mention earlier Monday, I'm going to drive around. I can't just sit at home. I need to be looking for her. And I'm just like, okay, that's fine.
You don't remember if that was in the evening or like sometime before midnight, after midnight?
Oh, before midnight.
Okay.
I go to bed. Well, that's Monday night. Not sure what time I went to bed Monday night. I want to say before midnight because I have to take my meds and I have to go to sleep. They only work if I take them the right way, my meds. So I have to follow a strict routine with them. I'm going to say it was before midnight.
Okay, and then when you got into your car, when you didn't notice that the car was, or the seat was back?
Yesterday Yesterday, whenever we got kicked out of the house, whenever they told us we couldn't go back in, forensics was coming. Yeah, I got into the car and I was like, oh, this he's addressed it. I'm like, did you get in it? He's like, yeah, I took a drive last night, remember? I'm like, oh yeah, you did. He told me that.
Speaking of about the fundraiser, they told me they're waiting on the dean to call me back, but it's like 4:27 now. She said the dean had been out of the office, so I guess I'll try to call back again Monday, but it doesn't look like they're going to call me back. But like I said, I've got the money. I told y'all we raised $364 for Hunters Creek in the name of Maddie. So I'll call them back Monday and try to get with them again. Evidently the dean's been out of office, and she said that's who I need to talk to. So
Monday night, did you ever come here to the sheriff's office Monday night? No. Okay. Did Stefan come here?
I don't think
That you know of? Okay. Do you know? Were they talked to here or?
No, they were talked to at her mom's place of business originally where they work. And then we have been in contact with her at her apartment. But that was after the initial report was made.
That was last night.
Yes. Yesterday, the other detective, Frank, responded around 10 o'clock in the morning and started looking at the school. I'm not sure when the initial contact was made with her. I want to say it was like around 11 or 12, right? At your apartment?
Heathen, I know, right? Abellis, yes. $364. I was really happy and proud of all of us over here for doing that. Yeah, I want to say.
And we've been in contact with her since then.
Okay.
Hey, Kalisa.
All right. Now, I understand that a detective recently showed you some pictures of not so pleasant things. Okay. What was discussed at that point?
They asked me if I recognized the penis. In one image, I didn't. In the other image, not that I recognized the penis exactly, but I recognized the things around the penis. And
Like what, clothing or?
Clothing and like a pillowcase
Okay.
that was like underneath the penis in the picture. So I recognized that.
Did he explain to you where those images came from?
You said Stefan's one? Is that correct?
Did he explain to you the content of those pictures?
I think this part's going to be newer too. Gothic said that there was like a bunch of people within 5 miles of the school and things. I thought predators on parole cannot live near a school or park or anywhere children frequent. They're not supposed to, but I mean, evidently they do. There's 139 just around a 5-mile radius of the school. That's insane. Hey, LJ, good to see you. And Miss Kimmy Akers, good to see you. I didn't even see you come in. Her way of trying to say it wasn't him. Yeah. So, Rhonda, the video we're watching doesn't match the audio because we're going through the CSAM interview that Jen did with law enforcement way back when, and that's already been released, right? But some of these audio files that were just recently released in the document drop, some of the stuff has been unredacted. And like I said yesterday, I released the jail call thinking that the dad said the murder charge, even though it was in the original audio. So we're all sleuthing together to see if these audios say something different than the original audios. And I haven't made videos for these audios, so I'm playing this audio off my phone, and the video on the screen is just something for y'all to look at while we listen to the audio, because I haven't made a video or anything for this audio. I haven't done anything with it yet. We're listening to it to see if it needs to be put out. And so far, we've found a couple of things that are new, so I will put this audio out as soon as I can. I've also read the discovery. I've got to get that video done, so I'm going to be working. I've been working all morning. I'll be working all night too. Okay, cool, Gothic. I appreciate it. I think you're on the Discord. I don't know. I have to ask Keo. She sometimes, if you're not active, it'll get rid of you after 7 days. She's got it set up where it does that. So if you're not, let me know or grab the link. Kalisa said, could Jen's strange, calm, matter-of-fact manner be disassociation? So hard to understand how calm she is discussing his member. It's possibility. I appreciate it. I should have had a slideshow ready. I've got some of the images downloaded, but not all of them.
Just explain that they were in his phone, that there's evidence that they've been sexually active or doing things since
She just said that there's images on his phone, evidence that that they've been sexually active since she was like 5 years old. I don't mean to keep pausing. Lord, Mommy, there was not new info in the jail call, and I released it, and I thought there was, and so I felt bad. Now we're listening together to see if y'all hear things that I hear, because y'all will pick up things that I don't, and vice versa. So we're doing it together now.
What's Stefan's relationship with Eli? What's their relationship like?
I was gonna say really good, super great. He treats her like one of his own. He's always been super sweet and kind to her, very accepting, warming, understanding of her, because she's got ADHD, so she's kind of a little, I'll say abnormal.
Mm-hmm.
In the sense that she doesn't act like every other kid. But you have to have extra patience and understanding for her. And he does that really well.
And she's all right, from what I understand. When she's around Stefan, does she act any different?
No, she's happy. She's like, hey, how are you? But she doesn't act any differently or weirder than him.
There's no really easy way to ask this, but do you think it's possible that Stefan and her are having a sexual relationship?
Before those images, I would have said absolutely not.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're telling me that on the other side of that penis that they showed me was her with her mouth, then there's nothing else I can believe that has to be true. But before that evidence, I would have said no.
Has Stefan always been, like, when you guys communicate and talk, or have you ever caught him in any kind of lies or not being truthful or anything like that?
No.
So he's been honest about everything, as far as you know?
As far as I know, yeah.
But she called him a lying manipulator, like, and said that he lied to his parents. But we've talked about that. Like, my theory on that is that she believed that he would lie to his parents, but not to her, because, you know, again, this is me speculating. I did not see, I do not know, I was not there. But I would think that she has so much trust in him that he would never lie to her, because he's told her something big, some kind of big secret that could get him in really big trouble. And her thought process is, well, if he would trust me with that, he's not going to lie to me. Like, why would he trust me with this big, humongous secret that could get him in trouble, or that could, you know, whatever, and lie to me on the other hand? So I think, I mean, again, I think that he told her what was happening and she knew. And her thought process is, well, he told me about what he was doing with Maddie, so he would never lie to me. He would never manipulate me, because if so, why would he have come out and told me what he was doing? Like, he's not going to lie to me like he would his parents. That's just my speculation. Again, reiterating, speculation. That's a 100% speculation. I don't know. I've just had that thought a couple of times.
I never had to question.
It is abuse.
If I've had questions, I've had answers. So it was never, I never suspected anything.
How long have you lived in?
I've lived in that house on and off.
Okay, so 13 years, roughly.
I said relationship. It is abuse. Abuse. I don't mean it's not a relationship. I'm talking about from her perspective. I agree 100%. It's absolutely abuse, and he needs to be put under the jail for it.
Where else did you live other than that?
For a little while, I moved into my mother's house during COVID.
Where did she live? Okay.
And then during COVID, it was another situation where he got promised the job down there and it didn't happen. We moved down there, got an apartment, and lived there for somewhere between 6 to 8 months. And then
Moved down where?
I'm sorry, to Port Charlotte, Florida,
Okay.
which is next to Sarasota County.
Mhm.
It's in Charlotte County.
Mhm.
We moved down to Port Charlotte during the whole COVID, where everyone was quarantining time.
Mhm.
We moved during that time and stayed in Port Charlotte.
What about Stefan? How long has Stefan lived in?
I'll say on and off for 7 years or 6 years. The first year we were dating, we were just, he was still staying at his parents.
Where does his parents live?
At the time, they lived in Winter Garden, Florida, but now they live in Northport, Florida. That's who he lives with down there.
Oh, okay. What about family? Any other family around here?
Who, him?
Okay, I apologize. Hio, I don't know if you can hear me, but my Nightbot link for Discord is not right, so I'll probably have to change it. I can't drop the link because I'm on my phone playing the audio, but if y'all have it, if you don't mind, please drop it, the link. Oh, the cop said the relationship. Okay. Yeah, how many panic attacks has she had? Not many since she's been talking about her daughter missing.
I think he's got distant relatives, but nobody he's ever talked to like that.
What about friends or you guys have friends? Are all your friends in?
All of his friends are in Northport, Florida. He made a big group of gaming friends down there. He's got some coworkers he talks to here, but no one I've seen him hang out with lately.
Okay. What about you? Are your friends or?
Sorry, do you mind sitting up for a second?
Yep. Give me 1 second, okay?
1 second. I'm so sorry.
Bad girl, if I have time, I'll pull that up. Thank you, Hio. I think she 100% knew what was going on too. We talked about it a little bit earlier when Bazard was up on panel before he just like evaporated. Poor Bazard. I hope he's all right. Wonder why he had to step out. Because they didn't find the body until like the next day. Yeah, he said, I did not start it. A lot of people think that means victim blaming, but I think he's blaming another adult personally. I think he's going to say Maddie was already abused, especially considering he's talking about when she was very young, she did something weird with the phone, but she wasn't scolded for it. I don't know. Not a lot, Darlene. We found some more things that were redacted before that are unredacted. That's about it. That heavy breathing.
You know, I'm going to pause this real quick. Kalisa said, do you all think she trafficked Maddie to get meds from Steppen, like ignored what was happening in her own house so she could get what she wanted? She didn't care for her daughter. A lot of people would be like, oh my God, how could you say that? But it happens quite a bit. Women, unfortunately, will sell their daughters or children in exchange for substances. It happens more than we all want to believe or think that it happens. So I think it's definitely a possible speculation. I hope not. I hope she had no idea, but, you know, it's kind of hard for me to believe that at this point. Hey, Hobby Farber. Hold on, my kids need to ask me something. I'm going to pause this. Okay, sorry. My kids wanted to go to the store with the neighbor. A lot of people are agreeing with Kalisa. I think Stern's parents would have said something too if they had known.
Sorry.
Oh shit! Sorry, I'm so sorry. I have a horrible potty mouth.
So also we were talking about Stefan's relationship with her. When you and your how do you and your daughter communicate? Like if you aren't in the same room,
How do we communicate?
like texts.
No, we speak to each other.
Okay, so you call each other on the phone.
If she's in the same room?
No, if you guys aren't in the same room.
Oh.
Like if she's out with her friends or you're at work or.
Call her text, but she's really bad about responding. She'll put her phone on silent or do not disturb.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes she'll respond, sometimes she won't.
Okay. How do you and Stefan normally communicate?
Via Google Meet, which is the video, not FaceTime, but the video chat for Android.
Okay.
We'll video chat pretty much all day.
Okay. Does and Stefan ever talk on the phone?
Yeah.
How do they do that? How do they normally communicate?
Video chat as well.
Okay.
But when she's on video chat, she's video chatting next to me, and we're all part of the conversation. They never go off on by themselves and have their own conversation. It's always all of us together.
Okay. Do they talk quite a bit? You know.
See, well, I'll say yes because we're all in the conversation together, and we stay on the phone for hours together. So yeah, that's all of us together.
Got it. Normal times of the day. I know kids sometimes are up late at night talking on the phone or anything like that. If Stefan's in Northport at home or with his parents, and you guys are here, and you guys are all talking, is it when normal people talk, or in the early in the morning, or
After school, before bedtime.
Okay. Do you know if ever has conversations with Stefan outside of your presence? Like, do they talk on the phone?
It's possible, but if I'm at home, I would know.
Gotcha.
Okay. She's always in my bedroom. She's hanging out in my bedroom or in her space, but I can hear her in her bedroom, or I can hear her from my bedroom, so I would know.
Okay. Now, this is kind of going to get into a sensitive subject, which I apologize. But there were images on his phone of them two being involved in a relationship. Now, has she ever disclosed to you or anything like that? If anything like that has happened between them? No. Okay. Has he ever mentioned to you, like, is he into any kind of, like, does he watch porn or anything that you know of?
I'm sure he does, but
Does he watch it around you or? I know some relationships, girlfriends go on guys' phones, guys go on girls' phones just to look, be nosy. Do you do any that sort of thing, or does he do that to your phone or anything like that? Okay.
too much respect for his privacy.
What about you and phone? You ever go through her phone at all?
Sometimes, but not as much as I should probably.
Mhm.
But
Because you
yeah,
trust her.
yeah, I've gone through it a little before now.
Okay. Anything abnormal that you would see in her phone?
That I've gotten it.
No, that you thought or?
No, I'm saying like
never?
if I've never seen anything,
Gotcha.
no. But I'm
Got it,
saying if
okay.
you guys saw something, then I missed it.
No, I'm not saying that we have.
Okay.
No. Stefan's phone is a different story.
Just going back to the comment you made about how you know that he was sexually active with someone else during your relationship. How did that come about?
Because we had broken up, and I found out about it later. But there was a girl he had been hanging out with, a coworker. This is about over a year ago. He started hanging out with a coworker, and I had suspicions that they were sleeping together, but I would ask, and he wouldn't confirm or say anything like that. But he didn't confirm until a few months later that, yeah, they in fact didn't sleep together. And I was just like, well, okay, good to know. I was just checking to see if I had slept with him after that. And like, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't want to have sex with him after he's had sex with somebody else. So, when he told me that, I was just checking with myself to see if that had happened, and it hadn't. So.
And this got brought up on a conversation of you asking him if he was sexually active with someone during your breakup, or did you find something in his phone, or was he texting off to the
No,
side?
it was a conversation that we had, and he just told me.
Was it a cordial conversation, or were you guys angry, or?
No.
Oh.
Sorry, when was the last time you guys were sexually active?
I don't remember this part before, but I could be wrong. Why did it jump back? Hold on. It just jumped way back. I think we were at least right here.
More with each other, so they're just trying to. That she was taken.
Hold on a minute.
Anyone that I know has done something to her, because I feel like nobody.
My phone went
Was his
crazy.
penis in your daughter's mouth on his phone?
Whoa. I know that's new. Hold on.
Years old.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh, phone. And Basil,
But
calm down. All right.
I can't say I know what. I don't think he's got triggers.
Hold on.
Have you
Let me
ever
go back
experienced
further.
him out loud?
Stop being stupid. Hold on now.
His things to do, gaming, what is he into?
Oh my gosh.
Doesn't get good rest. His brain is always telling him to.
Her Instagram name?
Okay, I'm going to put it at 150. I think that's where we were at. That's where I saw it at a minute ago. Oh my gosh, I can't believe that. My phone went crazy. Basil walked across it and it lost the spot. Stop! Please stop.
Almost 2.
So I'm not sure if you guys went to the house at all.
We were there, but not outside.
Okay, so these bedrooms are numbered. So do you know which room is
This room is number 3.
number 3?
And room is number 2.
Okay. Like if you actually physically are there, each door has a number.
Okay, hold on. Because we were at a good part. I don't want to miss it.
Is there anything else in that photo that stands out to you? Anything in the background?
Is this a picture of a picture? Is this a picture of a phone? Like, is this background
Yes.
now?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
Yes.
Let me,
I don't remember hearing that either.
realizing she's been in the shop for very long. They're both the same in that respect.
I'm just going to leave it there.
On medication, which is making him super forgetful. It's an
Is
anxiety.
this new for him, or has he always had this?
Stefan, he's always had ADHD. I want to say that's probably one of the reasons I broke up with him too. Was it's the ADHD part that just it's hard to manage and control, right?
So I do apologize. Basil walked across my phone, but we're going to listen from here. If we missed anything, it will be in the audio that I put out with the actual interview when I do an overlay and things. I do apologize. Basil ran across my phone.
How you are, and it's just a lot of those little things that just it was just too much for me. And I'm sorry, what were you saying?
No, it's like
Yeah, so right now,
he doesn't remember where he got this flat tire.
And he changed it himself, he said.
yes, and he said he hurt
Wait.
himself while doing it. I think his thumb got caught in between the thing that cranks the car up and like the frame.
Mhm.
Something twisted and fell on his finger, and he said he yanked out his finger really fast and hurt himself.
All right, so he used your car as a flat tire. Okay. And then did you?
No.
It was muted. How long has it been muted? Yeah, it muted it. Lord have mercy, Jesus. It is 5 o'clock. I don't want to stop, but I know I'm not going to be able to finish this today.
I think his thumb got caught in between the thing that cranks the car up and like the frame.
Mhm.
Something twisted and fell on his finger, and he said he yanked out his finger really fast and hurt himself.
All right, so he used your car as a flat tire. Okay. And then did you find the time?
Oh, sorry.
We still have no sound. No, I don't know what happened. It was all of a sudden muted. All right. I don't know what's going on, but it's being weird. And it's 5 o'clock. Actually, we've been going for 3.5 hours. So unfortunately, I'm probably going to have to end it here for today. I will try my best to get this audio out tonight, but I doubt I'll be able to because I'm doing the discovery document drop. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. It's 5 o'clock. I got to go start dinner and things anyway. I don't know what was going on. That just like messed up everything. Plus, I'll be able to find exactly where we were at. Thank you, Jenna's Gypsies. Yeah, and thank you, Jenny Jen. I'm sorry. But yeah, I'll have to end it here because we've been going for like 3.5 hours and it's 5 o'clock. I gotta go. Start dinner. So I will find out exactly where we were before Basil walked across my phone and make sure we're there for tomorrow. I doubt I'll be able to get this audio out tonight. So we'll definitely pick back up where we were tomorrow. And there's other interviews we can listen to as well to see if we hear anything different. We definitely know this one's different so far. I was interested in hearing about what she was going to say about the sex life situation. So I definitely want to find it and make sure we pick up back up where we were. But I do want to thank y'all all for being here, and thank you so much for the support. Gothic, I should be able to send you the link through the Discord chat later because I'll be able to access my phone and everything. I hope to see y'all all tomorrow. We'll continue our sleuthing of these interrogations or, audios and go through them and see what we can find that's different. And we'll pick back up where we actually were tomorrow. And I hope y'all have a good night. And I love you all. And I'm sure there's channels out there that might be playing it or have played it. If you're absolutely dying to hear what it has to say, you can definitely check them out. So yeah, for now, y'all stay safe out there until we see you tomorrow. Hopefully, I'll see y'all all here, and hug your babies and give them kisses and make sure that you tell them you love them because you never know. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. Thank you so much for being here and thank you for the support. I love you all. Have a good night.